Hey guys, coming up next, Mike Myers.
Hey guys, it's Spade, Spadoodle, and we are about to do the intro for Mike Myers. And I just want to tell you, because of a huge fuck up on my part, my sound is good with my intro with Dana, and I'm hilarious. Just a side note. And we had the greatest interview, but I screwed up, and my audio isn't perfect. For all you nerd robots out there, like, I only listen for the sound quality, not for the comedy. You're not going to be stoked. You can still hear all my jokes. I had a fucking blast with Mike. I'm just going to say that we sound great at the intro. Then my sound is, you can hear everything. It's just not as perfecto. So don't freak out and don't write your local congressman. Thank you. Here's me and Dana. All right, here we go. So Dana and I,
free minute.
We laugh.
Yeah.
I heard a joke this weekend. I'm going to tell it to you.
I love it.
Because comedians never tell jokes, but this one isn't bad.
Okay.
This one, you can do at home too. And I kind of mangled it. I've told it 3 times and I've told it differently.
Okay.
But the basic idea is it's an old people's, I can't believe I'm a professional. They're 90-year-old couple, and it's their 60th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
And so the wife says, "Get in bed. I'm gonna surprise you with something." So she goes in the bathroom. You follow so far?
Yes.
So the guy's in the bed waiting for his big surprise. So she goes in and strips naked, and only puts on a cape. So she has nothing but a cape.
Got it.
So she leaps out of the bathroom, lands at the base of the bed, and goes, "Soup or pussy?" And he goes, "I'll take the soup."
All right. Here's one not as funny, but nice and quick. That just generic that I use sometimes.
Okay. Good.
Did you hear about the mom and the dad who found out their 10-year-old boy was visiting S&M websites?
No, I did not.
And the mom said, "What are we going to do?" And the dad said, "Well, we can't spank him."
He'll jizz.
That's nice.
What? Yeah, that's
nice
good.
And quick. I do that as Obama in my stand-up. Hear about the mom and the dad who found out their 10-year-old boy was visiting S&M websites. And the mom said, "What are we going to do?" The dad said, "Well, we can't spank him."
Come on, Michelle.
Come on, Michelle. Michelle, no. No, just leave the egg salad where it is.
Oh, Joe
I'm going to eat later.
Joe
Michelle,
didn't get it.
I'm here with David Spade on a podcast.
Biden didn't understand it.
Come on.
What do you mean?
What we're going to do. I know how to do this. I know where I am. Yeah. Come on. We know it.
Mike Myers coming on right now.
Mike Myers, my brother from another mother. We have so much in common sensibility-wise. He has 2 older brothers. One's obsessed with Todd Rundgren. I have 3 older brothers. One's obsessed with Todd Rundgren. And he's kind of a, well, he's had quite he has quite a resume.
Jesus. Well, when I got to SNL, you 2 guys were some heavy hitters that were there, and you were also in Wayne's World together, but we would also all wind up in sketches together, and you had your own stuff, and you had movies. It was very exciting and intimidating to be in there with all you guys, and you 2 went on and did a lot of stuff, and it's great. Mike was a force there, and he was nice to me. And, that's saying a lot.
Who wasn't nice to
I
you?
know,
You're David Spade. Everyone likes you.
I didn't really get along with Al Franken, but no names.
I love
By the
Al.
way, if you hear this podcast, there's not a chance that Al's name doesn't come up and I go in the background.
He's one of our classics. What's interesting about Mike and what we've learned from doing this podcast is that everyone has their own lane there. You have your story. My story's yet to be told. I may get my own special episode.
Please, just talk for now.
We had a nice cast going. The show was starting to come back, and then Mike was dropped in. He had his own lane of joining the cast. It was already gelling and bringing all this great stuff to it. So I want to hear how he felt about that and his journey through that, and then into sharing this crazy Wayne's World movie and how much it grew on the show. It's very, very interesting.
I'm going to ask him about Coffee Talk movie, and I'm going to ask him about Sprockets movie.
My supernatural friend, Mike Myers. Get Back by the Beatles.
I felt like I was watching Da Vinci at work. You know what I mean? Yeah. That moment when Get Back happens moved me to tears. the sweetness that they had with each other.
Yeah.
Like that hug when there's like, I'll go over and I'll talk to George,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they all had that nice sweet hug. Killed me.
And they were just lads. And they, Lennon, as it went on, and there's some of the stuff, what you wrote and I wrote in the 70s, was just very sweet and very present. And I loved how much everyone would lock in and try really hard on everyone's song. I just was, I thought it was going to be so much anger, but no, they're like, and Ringo always said that he'd count in and they'd all just drop everything. And also, which you could probably relate to this being, I'm barely middle class growing up, but the setting was just tea and cigarettes and just funny chairs, like nothing. It was so unfancy, especially at Abbey Road. It was just like you'd think it'd be. And then just the work ethic of Paul with trying to, do it again. It's like just.
No, he's definitely just had his hand on the third rail and he was just driven. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he couldn't, it needed to come out. And, George's sadness was tough. Just hey guys, wait up, What are you guys going?
I know, and just that they'd been in back of vans and stuff. And then when Paul was really trying to instruct him, I was getting anxious. Like that's George Harrison, and it's not little George he met at 14. We'll do this and do this and do this. Yeah. And I used to do that as a joke, kind of, because I heard it on an album once. Where Paul would go do to kind of process the melody, and then he's doing it. You go like, dude, it's like he hears the whole. He's like Mozart. I mean, he hears it all. Yeah. And so then he's frustrated, but it was so remarkable. And
I just got to it, guys. I was just watching when I in the other room. Swear to God. And
I thought you were a big Monkees fan. I didn't know you were a Beatle guy.
No, I'm watching the Monkees. What are you guys talking about? No, I was watching, and it was just the part where he was sort of helping George, and then it was he's, I guess, stumbling in to get back, but you can kind of go, I know this one, and then he fools around with it, and then he starts going, get back, and you're like, oh, is that what you're talking about, Mike?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, whoa!
I was like, oh my god, this is Get Back.
Yeah.
And then
so cool.
I could relate to that constantly. I can relate to. Okay. A lot of creativity is then just going someplace else, like either bullshitting around the table and ordering Chinese food, or they would go into, Carl Perkins songs. Dude, they kept going back because you just to refresh their brains and come back around on it, Mm-hmm. So anyway.
No, they just kept getting back to the whole reason why they wanted to do music in the first place. I love that part of it. And I also loved how much Ringo was a Paul McCartney fan. Just the look of adoration when Paul's just, the long and winding road, and he's going, I've got one. And it's like the best song ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He had that Savant kind of vibe about him, like pulls it in here, goes there, this just goes there. And it was just so sweet to see.
I think it's how they recognize game. Like even when I got to a good old SNL, like we can't compare to the Beatles, but when I got to a place where I'd done stand-up comedy here and there, and the headliner was pretty good and he would kill, but he wasn't that good. And I was trying to sort of figure out what was good and what wasn't and what I jived with. And then I got to this show and you guys were there and everyone was like beyond what I thought they would be. Like, I didn't know what to expect. And I'm like, the writers are so good. And everyone's so ahead of me. I was going, holy shit, I thought it was pretty good, but it's too good here. And I look back and we did have a chunk there where, they usually do have a lot of really, really good people there, but that look right there, I was thinking, shit, I'm over my head. I see you guys.
And then you crushed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It took a while to like take a notepad and go write a sketch, and without tons of help, because everyone's in their own, they got to do their own shit. Mm-hmm. And then people would help, but they can't baby you all day.
Right.
And you just
you had your path, I had mine, and I think Mike's is kind of a singular path because he came in, the cast was going good. Mike Myers is coming in. Who? And then you had to come in. It wasn't like three people came in or someone else. It was just Mike was the first new guy after the original cast. It was like 2 seasons in. And so that's kind of unique about your experience. So just explain how that felt Because what was that like to come in and then you melded and did brilliant, and we were just, we were like the Beatles but at that time it must have been strange.
It was terrifying. I hadn't seen the show in a long time because I was living in England, and I've said this too many times now, but it's absolutely true. I had a top loading VHS that I had to choose between, the hockey game, which is at 7:30 and it ends at 12:30.
I can relate to that.
Or
I've never heard this, because we all think everyone's heard everything because we go on these different interviews. But I know I'd not heard that one from you.
I didn't. So I got a call. Do I want to be on Saturday Night Live? And I thought it was my brother Paul at first. You know what I mean? Honest to God, because I was in Chicago at Second City, and then I started to watch the show, and I was like, holy shit, these guys are awesome. Like they're, you know what I mean? And I had been in Toronto, and we used to have funny cab guys, the cab dispatchers. So it was an Eastern Avenue taxi in Toronto. And the guy would go, he would do like, oh, hey, I need a cab at Lorn Dundas. And then a cab, you don't hear the cab driver, and he'd go, give the man a bologna sandwich. Right? We had like this whole
that was
thing.
The code.
That meant you got the cab or something. I don't know, but it was really amusing. And you'd be in the back of the cab and you'd be like, oh, that's a funny dispatcher. And then this one, I was with Dave Foley. And this
Kids
one
in the Hall.
Dave Foley from the Kids in the Hall. And this one cab dispatcher just kept saying, isn't that special? And I said to Dave Foley, I said, that's really funny. That's a great thing to say. Isn't that special? And Foley looked at me and said, that's Dana Carvey's Pitch Lady character. I said, oh my God, that's like a catchphrase. He goes, do you not know? I said, no, I've been living in England for 3.5 years.
That's funny. I didn't.
And I missed everything. And they have no sense of Saturday Night Live in England at all.
Damn.
The only thing.
I don't go.
The only thing that they'd watched later was little clips of Wayne's World after the movie came out. And even then, they were a little like, oh, I like the movie, but I don't know about the sketches.
Let's insert that moment that we shared and then go back around to this, because Mike creates Wayne's World, invites me to be on. We're going. It's starting out. It's kind of late in the show. Then Madonna, everything. Then let's make a movie. Okay. And then we have to go to London. I was so naive. That when Paramount was saying, well, would you like to go to London? I kept turning them down. Like, I'm really tired. I think I'll go. I didn't understand what. And they said, well, we'll bring anybody or whatever you want. So we were on the Concorde with Paula and like 6 of our relatives. Encore. But anyway, a moment that I'll never forget is that it had been shown enough in London that there was a following. So Mike and I, who used to joke, let's do a thing called "We're the New Beatles." Remember that one?
Yeah.
We're my cuter. Was that the thing? So we had our little suits on, and then we were in this London cabbie limo type thing, and we pulled up in front of the theater to show London Wayne's World, and there were like 5,000 kids leaning on cyclone fences with posters and stuff. And wasn't that moment we got out of the car like, what? And they're screaming for us. That was fucking nuts.
How did they get it? Did they get it, Dana, from Mike, our guest? Did they get it from the sketches, or they had caught up with SNL stuff so they knew the movie was coming out?
I think they ran the sketches. On BBC, like, because nothing goes on the hour on BBC, you know what I mean? So it'll be, coming up at 12:38, like it's all weird.
That's all just specific. At 11:19.
They would put in little spacers of Wayne's World,
Mike, one time we went to, the only time I've been to London was, I've only been anywhere for press, and it's just like always quick, but we went for Tommy Boy and Farley and I went over, and we, for some reason, thought we were famous of that. Meanwhile, we've only been on the show like 3 years, and it's not even really over there, like you said. Right. And then Tommy Boy wasn't even out yet.
So
right?
what happened?
We were like doing a premiere, and we're like, it's going to be weird being so famous. And then we stayed at the Dorchester, and we had hats and glasses on. We go, let's go try to eat. And then no one knew us. And then they're like, hey, who's the fat guy and skinny guy? And then we walked around, and then we slowly took the glass and everything off, and then we were trying to get recognized, and that wasn't working. And we ate in Hollywood. we went to Piccadilly, so I guess we were just trying anything to get one person to know us, and it sort of backfired.
Yeah. It is funny. It's all different now, but at the time it was, the ocean was a big ocean. You know what I mean?
Yeah, without Google, and even if you didn't see the show, you didn't see it on Monday on the internet. You had to wait 6 months and see a rerun.
Right.
And maybe you know this, Mike, this is just an insert. It always made me laugh when they'd say, you're going to jump the pond. So the Atlantic Ocean became referred to as a pond. Was that from Londoners or I don't know? Anyway.
It feels like an English understatement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Kind of. So, I don't know what everyone knows, but it is interesting. I felt kind of envious in a way of your roots of having two parents from Liverpool, and you're sort of like you're probably had cousins who knew the Beatles or whatever. I mean, that is very interesting. Yes, you did. I knew it.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a cousin who knew Aunt Mimi.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, which
Aunt Mimi was in the Beatles.
Aunt Mimi was in the Beatles. She was
she was a roadie. Yeah, Tom Hanks played her in one of the Wayne's World sketches.
She was lugging PV amps. Yeah, go ahead, Mike. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's all good. And I knew all the places. I knew Penny Lane. You know what I mean? I'd been there as a kid. And Strawberry Fields. I kicked a soccer ball around on Strawberry Fields. You know what I mean? So it was kind of a weird thing. And my parents were super proud, and their accent became famous.
Yeah. So
people would knock on the door knowing I wasn't home, and they would say, is Mike in? And my dad would say, no, actually, I think he's kicking about with his other. And people were like, cool, The Beatles were so famous that the accent was famous, and I got some reflected glory of my parents.
That's another thing that's unique about you is, okay, you grow up in Canada, and then right out of high school, you go into Second City, right? Mm-hmm. You at some point obviously had English roots and had gone over there, but then you go over to England. You're developing your comedy there as part of a comedy team, and you're there for 3 years outside the States and Canada. And then how do you get on SNL from there? Then you get on SNL. You're like 25 or something.
So what happened was I came back for Christmas, and my dad was ill. He was starting to get Alzheimer's. Yes. And I was in a comedy double act with a guy named Neil Malarkey, who's really, of course, my dad was like, what's your comedy partner's name? I said, Neil Malarkey. And he said, well, I guess, Bill Shenanigans wasn't available because his name's Malarkey, and
okay.
Malarkey's fantastic. I still work with him today. He's hilarious. And, I didn't want to leave. I loved England.
I don't blame you.
I love being in
London.
this double act. I love London.
Yeah.
And my dad was starting to get ill, and I did the improv set at Second City Chicago, Second City Toronto, the main stage. And then they said to me, "Do you want to have a job on the main stage of Second City Toronto?" And I was like, "I don't really, only because." But then I knew that my dad was ill, and I'm so glad I did, because I did get to see my dad for a little while before he lost his personality, which was just sort of like a double death with Alzheimer's. You know what I mean?
Yeah, horrible.
And so I got to see him. He got to see me perform, and then I got hired for Second City Chicago and went down there. And then my dad had a horrible accident in a bath. And it was awful. And I went back up, and I technically was the alumni at Second City Toronto, and there was an alumni show, and Martin Short saw me there and recommended me to Lorn.
Yes, I know that part of it.
Then I didn't audition. I just got called, and I was just in the cast, and I didn't really actually know I was hired for the first little while exactly. And even Lorn, I was in the hallway, and he said, "Well, what are you doing here?" And I was like, I
didn't even know. You're right.
He said, "Well,
why are you on 9?"
Yes. Why are you cross-legged by the elevator bank? And I was like, I don't have an office. He said, "Get off the floor," or something like that. Well, and I was like, "Didn't I meet you and you hired me?"
Well, going full.
Wait, Mike, so you did. Hang on. Let me ask him.
Yeah.
He didn't. So, Mike, you didn't have the stress of knowing you were having an audition. Really, it just Martin Short saw you and then said he recommended.
100%. If I had auditioned, I wouldn't have got in. That's 100% true.
God,
I'm the shittiest auditioner that's
Oh,
ever.
I hate it too.
You know what I mean?
So Martin Short must have recommended you really heavily. I mean, you know
Yes,
what I mean?
And Dave Foley.
And Dave Foley
did as well.
who
Yeah.
Lorn respects.
Yeah.
So then
and Pam Thomas is a casting director, Pam Thomas, who was a producer with The Kids in the Hall. She was at this anniversary in Toronto, and she also called Lorn and was like,
So in all due modesty, what were you doing when Marty saw you? Like, were you doing Sprockets? Were you doing Lothar?
I did Wayne's World.
You did Wayne's World?
At the top of the second act.
Who played Garth?
Yeah.
There was no Garth.
At
It
the
was
time,
Wayne
okay.
and Nancy.
Thank you
It was
for
it was
creating a
double act.
sidekick once again.
Yeah, that's great.
That was very
Well, you know
flicky.
the story of I just looked at the cast and I said, who's the best comedian there?
Who's the
I put him in my
star?
sketch. And that's 100% true.
I don't know. I had a baby face, had to keep my chin up, and I guess we'll be doing it on the 50th anniversary. So I'm gonna.
Yeah,
Shit. Isn't it the 30th anniversary this year?
You wish.
It
It's
is.
the 30th of the movie.
Oh, of you guys.
Yeah, of Wayne's World.
Yeah.
It's the 30th anniversary of Wayne's World, the movie, which is
Jeez.
ridiculous. I know.
But I don't even know how to process life anymore. It just spins around
Yeah.
so fast. I always
Yeah.
say I'm moving at the speed of life. I feel like all of us
Yeah.
are way busier than we should or could be. Of course, you have three children, and
Yeah.
and you just did a Netflix show. If you want to talk about that for a sec, but
Sure,
you've been
sure.
busy. Let's. Mike did a new show for all you Mike Myers fans. He has a streaming show coming out on Netflix, right? This year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in May. It'll come out in May. It's called the Pentaverate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about what if 5 people
Well, I
ran
was
the
going to call
world.
mine.
Well, I had heard that and I got out with it faster.
You got out first. Smart.
First early adopter.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, not at all. It's called the Pentaverate, and it's about 5 people. What if 5 people ran the world, and what if they were nice? And it's about conspiracy theories.
Right.
And I play all 5.
So you play
of
Bill
the-
Gates,
Oh,
Mark Zuckerberg,
shit.
Jeff Bezos,
Well, you'll have
Elon
to
Musk.
see. I'm keeping tight-lipped about the various
I
characters
love
that
I love
play.
the I
Yeah.
love the premise, and I love the idea of it. So, and you're doing your Mike Myers thing, which is amazing
Yeah.
to watch.
Well,
you know.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun doing it, and happy with it. Very happy with it.
Netflix is the place.
I think the writer performer is kind of the most potent comedian. Not all comedians write their stuff, but in your case, you were just every bit as much a writer. Tina Fey, the same, and a great performer.
Yeah.
What I'm kind of interested now that we're to this section is what you brought to SNL that first year was so outside. It had its own frequency, its own sensibility, and I always say it's Canadian, British, and American, because you're always watching America as a kid, right? From Canada. So that when you came in, and I wanted to walk through some of those things you did on that first season, and then finished with this part of it when we were touring, and Mike and I did some dates, and how hard you had landed with the audience, because we were playing 3,000 seaters, and you'd come out and they were going crazy. So anyway, I'll be back in 10 minutes. I just wanted to lay that out there. That was a long way of saying. So you come in, the first thing I saw, I'll start it this way. So Mike comes in, he's very Canadian in the sense that he's shy and sweet, unassuming. And the first thing I saw you do, I think you had a suit on, you had a French accent, and you were peeing yourself with some kind of device.
It was fortuitous. It was as if it was French Saturday Night Live.
Oh, okay.
And because I speak French because I'm from Canada.
Do you really?
Yeah, je peux parler français. J'ai pris français quand j'étais en école. Je suis Canadien.
I've only been able to do fake French. So this is not nothing, right? But anyway, so
sweater. So I did it actually in French.
Oh, you did?
Oh,
you're actually French in a suit, wetting your pants. Is that your first sketch?
Yeah. I was playing a cast member or the French celebrity who was hosting that week.
Oh, I see. Okay.
In France, and it's and then they had a pee rig on me.
Right.
And
always
and it was,
enjoy wearing a pee rig. I don't know why.
Now this is Mike. This is your first read through, or is this your first show?
First show, I think. And then the first sketch I was in, where I played Nigel the groundskeeper, and It was
A lot of Nigels.
I like someone's
of
name.
Nigels. I play a lot of
Nigel,
Nigels.
the groundskeeper.
I'm no stranger to a Nigel.
It's a good English name, I guess. It's funny.
And
Wait, Mike, was that the beginning of like a September season? Like I came in at the end of a season, and some people come in the middle. Adam came in the middle.
I came in the middle. It was February of '89.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's sometimes tougher. Everything's rolling.
It was, and everybody's awesome. Like, you know.
Well, we had Phil Hartman and Jan Hooks. I mean, you know.
Oh my God, I had a nervous breakdown that first week. I said straight up on the floor crying, "I'm not going to make it." These people, I didn't know.
And then Lorn said, "What are you doing on the floor, Mike?
Get off the floor,
Mike." So you
need to go to a psych ward, Mike.
So in those 4 months, you landed. I know you did Sprockets.
Yeah.
Which I always love the touch my monkey aspect to it.
Yes.
That was so specifically insane. Touch it, demanding touch it. So where did that? So you had that when Martin Short saw you. Did you do Sprockets and Wayne's World or?
No, I just did Wayne's World, and it was after the intermission, and I came up from the audience, and people actually kind of weren't sure
if it was you,
what was happening, and then. Then I had a great show, and then we did the improv set, and I did a couple of things, and I just had the show of my life. It was one of those weird things. Yeah. And then there's a thing called freeze tag at Second City where you take the position of somebody. And I ended up in this long freeze tag with Martin Short.
Oh, okay.
And as it was described to me, is that Martin Short looked at me, and I looked like I was 14, you know what I mean? And was starting to name drop, like as a way of saying, you won't know any of these people. And I matched every name drop for a name drop, you know what I mean?
Okay, got it.
And so he was like, I was with Stevie Spielberg at the blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And I said, that's when Liza Minnelli came. We were on a yacht drinking white Puerto Rican rum. And because there's a white Puerto Rican rum commercial that had Liza Minnelli and whatever. And it became this duel, you know what I mean?
I did a bit once where celebrity name dropping, it's always a shorter, like Johnny Carson. I was with John Carson, and Eddie McMahon. It's always kind of changed. We're with Bobby Hope. And Walks, that was, but yeah, so you crushed it. Then you come to the show. And then by May, the show's done. So you landed a lot of stuff before we went on our little mini tour, maybe.
But I didn't think so at the time. That's so stupid. Is I literally was like, I blew it. I'm going to get fired. And I really, truly thought I was going to get fired pretty much every week. You know what I mean?
Well, which one landed the best in your mind? I mean, you did Lothar, the Hill People.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
I am Lothar of the Hill People. It's like
it's just different crowds like the sort of people that, like musicians liked Dieter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they liked Wayne, but like artsy people were like, oh, that Dieter thing's cool. Wayne's World had more of a broader appeal, but then I remember walking through Central Park, and it was always the people that worked in the park were like, "Oh my God, it's Lothar, the Hill People."
They remember
Lothar.
You can almost guess who's gonna like what. When people come up with fans come up, you go, "I think you're gonna like Ben."
So that was like an ancient man in very rudimentary language.
Village man.
No, but this was an ancient man in rudimentary language trying to understand women and society. Was that kind of
it was a sensitive troll or whatever. When I was a kid, I played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, but we did it in character, which I look back now and it gives me the corny tingles. But
I know a lot of Dungeons and Dragons fans,
and my character was Lothar. And
when I lie with Lothar, the woman, she comes. I don't know what
there is much that I could tell you. It's all come. Let us talk of stories of the hunt. That type of.
Wait, but Mike, you just did that half a year, and then you guys went on the road. You were well done enough to go on the road.
Yeah, it was. Wow. And I didn't have an act. I wrote it on the plane, and so
Mike was writing, and he had cue cards. We hadn't done this
on the stage.
And if I could just insert this. So Mike's opening for me. This brilliant thing, he would come out as, was it Wayne? Or
Wayne, yeah.
Wayne, underdressed, unbeknownst to the crowd, he was underdressed with Dieter. So you do Wayne, and then you pull a ripcord, and then the theme to Sprockets would come on, and you start dancing as Dieter, and they would go shithouse. I mean, it was such an incredible move.
But I was shocked because I didn't know who was watching the show, and I thought, I just have to just do it. And if it doesn't play, I just stay Wayne the whole night. You know what I mean?
Back then, you don't have Instagram followers, you don't have internet, you don't have Google. So you have to guess, am I famous or does anyone know what the fuck is going on? I'm just hoping they see the show. I'm hoping they're into this. We think it's funny in the building, and then we leave. You just don't know.
No idea. And it was interesting. Like when I was very first on the show, I would get like 3 pieces of mail. Right. And
your
often
mom,
it was from,
your brother.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Well, often from correctional facilities, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with the real stamp, which I thought was, that's cool. And then I would look over at Dana's and I was like, you got no mail. Dana got no mail. Holy shit. So I guess I'm okay with 3. And I said to, do you remember Julian?
Oh, yes. Yes.
And I said to Julian, Julian, I don't understand it. Dana has no mail. He goes, no mail. And then he points over to these $5. These 5. He goes, it doesn't fit in there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's, it was all I didn't know that. That's nice.
Sheaves and sheaves.
For the people at home, right by the page desk, it was Steve Korn when I was there.
Yeah.
And they had all these square boxes and each had her name on it, but they were unfortunately equally the same size.
Yes.
And then you'd see Dana sticking out with all these
stuff
down there.
When Mike and I, when the movie hit, it definitely went surreal for us, right? Because we didn't really know what box office and just awards kept arriving and giant vats of mail. And it was just sort of, I don't know if we really comprehended it.
No, it was too fast.
Too much.
For me, the only one that hit home was having immigrant parents and not having any hockey equipment, except we would go to the skate exchange and you'd get like old timey skates that look like, soon railways will be spanning the nation skates. You know what I mean? And then I'm on Saturday Night Live. We weren't making any money, but all of a sudden a thing arrives, this big giant duffel bag from Team Canada with Team Canada skates with the logo stitched into the skates, into the hockey pads, into the gloves, the logo Team Canada. And I was like,
how cool.
This is like unbelievable. And
that's making it.
I still have the gloves because they're. You
were a big hockey guy back then.
Yeah.
I think you had a lot of coats and stuff.
That's kind of a bond. It's not. I would never do a military analogy, but it's a bonding thing in show business to be on that show with people because it's so gritty. And then to have your first success with them and the first time making a couple extra bucks. I remember you scrounging for quarters, to get a sandwich and stuff, or you got bringing a buck out and,
Yeah.
I mean,
no, I did. I had to borrow money off Lorn. I had to borrow money off Lorn off the first half season.
Does he have a billfold and kind of go like that? Does he like, it's 5, 10, 15? I want it by Tuesday.
Where was I? Start again.
Did he pay you in Canadian money or what is that?
Yeah, here's a bloomie.
A bloony. He said, how much do you need? I said, $10,000. Like I didn't really know.
Wow.
And he was like, well, what's your rent? And I was like, what?
What was
because
it?
How much do you? Something like $1,000 a month or something.
Yeah, and you're netting maybe $1,500.
I had no money. Like I had negative money. You know what I mean? And I just
can't believe you asked Lorn. I would be so fucking scared to ask Lorn for money. I probably would have.
I talked to. Do you remember Audrey Pert Dickman?
Of course, Audrey. Yeah.
Sure. And she said, well, she was like, do you have any friends that you can borrow from? I said, not really. No. He goes, it was like anything valuable. The golden
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Anyone else than Lorn?
Yes. Basically, can you donate blood?
Yes.
Can you donate blood?
Do you have any shoes you could donate?
Yes.
Did you go to Jim Henry?
I had the same thing, but I went straight to Marcy Klein because I found out she was Calvin Klein's daughter. So I said, well, she's got to have some money. So that was my No, I'm kidding. But hi, Marcy. She's we love you. I was just looking while you were gone. I just remembered how much I love Philip. I thought that was with the kid with the helmet. He was in straps and he's running away. That was really inspired because
Twigs and berries.
It was so funny visually. Like even if you lost the sound, it was so great.
Oh, thank you.
You know what I mean? And also it was just
Philip
like
is one with hypo.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
The hypo. Yeah.
And he wore a helmet and he had this bungee cord and he's trying
a harness. There was a kid in my neighborhood that had a harness.
A harness.
Yeah.
That's the word. He was
and I was like, that's not right. You know what I mean?
I think you had Nicole Kidman in one, or was that Seinfeld?
No, that Nicole Kidman was on Philip. Yeah.
You know, I saw this morning a middle-aged man, and I'm working on it. And it was Jan Hooks and Victoria. It's just such a throwback of like the simple SNL sketches. And you come in, it's so great. And then Farley came in as drinking buddy. I don't think I remember that. And you guys both snapped your head at the same time and drank. And it was fucking really well done. And
I love the theme. Do you remember the theme? Didn't it have a song? He's
middle-aged man.
Like, go ahead.
I had a whole.
Can you sing it, Mike, or what?
Was it middle-aged man? Something and
middle-aged man. Middle-aged man.
Something and a gut. Middle-aged man. And the catchphrase was are you looking at my gut? I'm working on it.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Which of course is my actual thing I say
now.
Because I have, of course. I have the gut.
I love presentational comedy like that, where you tell the audience the premise completely up front, and then you present it to them. There's no mathematics for their head. They're just like enjoying. I know exactly what this is.
Yes.
Yeah. We're all spreading around. I mean, my waist is like way bigger than it was back then. I used to tease John Lovitz because I looked at the board and they do your waist and your inseam, and I was like, well, I was young then. I was like 31, 33. And everyone else had a bigger waist and a shorter inseam. So you know how you tease John, and he teases you. I go, John, look, I have reverse sizing. He goes, what? What do you mean, reverse? So anyway, John is the greatest. I mean, he's just the silliest.
Hello,
everybody.
What else? I saw a side on YouTube. It said, here's a scene of Mike, all things Scottish, from Dress. I'm like, you can watch shit from Dress?
What?
Yeah, I go, and it said on the beginning, Saturday Night Live films their show at 11:30, but they have a dress rehearsal at 8, and it's not supposed to air, but here's one. I go, you can find Dress? This is unreal.
Everyone there
was that the one with Mel Gibson where the cash register malfunctioned?
I think it was Walken. Was Walken everyone?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. What, for a second, just because we're on that topic, hosts that were, I know these, you've heard these before, but we probably have similar choices. Wayne Gretzky would be a big one for me.
Number one,
Number one for you. I figured. Yeah. Well, and so just from my point of view for a second, you wrote a Wayne's World sketch, and we went to an ice rink, or did a film. I'm from California, so I never played hockey. Wayne Gretzky is literally super Canadian nice. I mean, just like insanely unassuming. And then I couldn't get I was playing the goalie. I didn't know. So he gets on one knee, starts lacing up my shoes and pads. And then Wayne Gretzky says, here, hold the stick like this. So it was, thank you again for that moment, Mike, because I was like, what? No, wait a minute.
Like
the greatest
winner. Yeah,
well, it's just, so how was your experience with Wayne? I mean, he was so
well, I got called into Lorn's office, and I thought, okay, here it comes. You know what I mean?
On the carpet.
And I thought, all right, I tried. And then he goes, Wayne Gretzky's the host. And I was like, and I was like, is this happening? Like, it's a joke, right? And he said, just maybe a Wayne's World. You know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, of course. But I went and all pre-cell phone, of course. I was just pounded calls to Canada.
Oh my God!
All my friends. Wayne Gretzky's the host. Holy shit! You know what I mean? It was huge.
There was a couple things for that episode that stick out to me. One is I have a terrible fear of flying. So does Wayne. Ironically, even though he must have flown like crazy, he goes, "I'll tell you at the end of the week what the secret is to not be afraid." So at the end of the week, the end of the show, I go, "Wayne, what's the secret?" He goes, "Helicopters." just flying a helicopter in a plane will seem like nothing, you know?
He's right.
And he's kind of right, you know?
Yeah. He's 100% right. Helicopters are terrifying.
Do you remember the sketch we did where we were playing celebrities idiotically trying to advise him how to play hockey?
I do. And I remember it's like, what if you made the puck out of flubber?
Yeah.
Flubber.
And the funny part was Phil was doing Jack Nicholson, and he always would say Wayne's moniker or nickname before he'd start to talk in rehearsal. He'd go, "Great one." And Wayne would lose it every time, you know. And I was pulling out my silly John Travolta from 1975 going, you know, maybe just everybody should just go right at the net super fast. Just go right, that kind of thing. Yeah. And he loved it. But anyway, he stood out as just, and he nailed that thing where he's singing like Elvis on the air show.
Waikiki Hockey.
Yeah. Suddenly he was extremely charismatic and in the pocket. You know, it was like, wow, anything can happen on SNL.
Yeah.
So he's that, you know.
Did you ever do Austin? Did you ever do Austin Powers on SNL? You didn't, did you?
No, never did.
That was later.
It's a later creation.
No, that was later. I hosted. I've only hosted once. I hosted in, I would say, 25 years ago.
Was it to promote?
It was for Austin Powers. Yeah.
And how did you find that? Because David's hosted. I've hosted 3 times, I think.
Yeah.
I find it really difficult.
Do you? It looked so natural and fun. What was your?
Well, when I did one in 95, I actually got, you know, I got into a restaurant sketch with Chris was in it, and Tim Meadows and Sandler that I didn't write. Steve Coren wrote, The Pepper Boy. And it for a restaurant sketch underneath the bleachers kind of set, it killed so hard that at that night at the hotel at 4:30 in the morning, Sandler, he just left a voicemail for me going, "Carvey, Pepper Boy." You know, one of those, right? It killed so hard. But the last...
I think he said Sandler.
To me, Sandler. But the last time I went on, I just was a little too amped up, had been gone too long, and was a little too serious about it, trying to control it, you know, because they put you in like 13 sketches. As a cast member, you're used to having 1 or 2 that you're shepherding, so you can really focus. So that's the part that's hard. But how did you guys find it?
You also want to kill on every sketch, and you start to go, I don't want to kill on every sketch.
So you enjoyed it, Mike?
No, it was hard. It was really hard. But because it was too many sketches, and I also wanted every moment to be perfection. But what was from when you write and produce your stuff, from that standpoint, it, you know, like they said, okay, you're going to play the Prime Minister at the time of England, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, I need some tape on it. I don't really know how he talks. And so I said to the person, is it possible to get a tape? And they said, sure, it'll be for 5 minutes. And I'm like, yeah. Because when you do movies, it's much slower.
Yeah, much slower than that.
And literally 5 minutes later, there was a tape. And I was like, this is why movies can be frustrating at times, because honest to God, like everything, you can't believe how fast things happen.
Yeah.
And so when people on movies tell you, oh, it can't happen, you're like, beg to differ.
Actually,
you know
it can. Well, that's the love of Saturday Night Live. If you tend to procrastinate, or you just have these hard deadlines throughout the week that keep pushing you forward and keep you really heightened. I didn't realize for my ADD or whatever I've got that really fit my brain nicely, because everything was in front of me, and then there was the dress show, and then boom, it's over. And then in a movie, you might develop it for 2 years. It's like, and then I was on a film once with a guy. We did so many rehearsals and so many other angles. By the time it got to the shot they were going to use, I had said the thing, like I'd say 150, 200 times.
Right.
It didn't even seem like English. It was like,
yeah.
I mean, I think, you know, maybe the way other people do documentary style or something, but that kind of crushed me in movies. I didn't feel.
I would love to shoot. I always want less takes, because I feel like you're fresh, you get it, and if something happens off the top of your head or you tweak it, but to do it, and then you're finally so burned out at the end, they go, now here's the big close up, and you go, fuck, now the one we're going to use. I go, god damn it.
Yeah. You've used it all on the other side. Yeah.
What is the money shot? I mean, in Wayne's World 1, because it was, I don't know, I think it was like 35 days. So And so there wasn't a lot of time for a lot of coverage. Like in Wayne's World
it's
1,
freedom from choice too. That's the other thing too. You don't want so many choices. And the other thing too, you know, I didn't even know on Wayne's World to ask if there was what the coverage was. Do you know what I mean?
Me neither.
Of course.
And now, you know, there's been some movies where you can't ask, you know, or I was like Bohemian Rhapsody. I was just like,
great,
whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
right. You're a hired hand kind of, right?
Yeah, exactly. And on Inglourious Bastards, it was just like whatever you would like. You know what I mean?
Can I say how much I love that scene? And I saw it recently, and that how big he made the room, and the attitude of your character and the accent. It's so fucking great.
I love.
Well, I love Tarantino. I mean, you got to be in a Tarantino movie. And
I can't believe it. Like, I also got to be in a World War II movie, which is also, and just the whole experience was, you know, shot in Nazi headquarters.
Are you kind of, I'm just going to throw this out, I don't know where it's going. Are you kind of a World War II historian in a way, or you're very much interested in that particular event? No, Mike is fanatic, and it's okay to say that, and I have other friends who do it, but you do paint and make beautiful models. Extraordinary.
Toy soldiers, yeah. Oh, thank you.
And you have tableaus of soldiers, and they're just breathtaking dioramas.
Thank you. Yeah.
Extraordinary. But yeah, I'm a lightweight compared to you, but I'm fascinated by World War II as well.
Both my parents were in World War II. My mom was in the Royal Air Force, and my dad was in the Royal Engineers and fought, you know, in the second wave of Market Garden, where they were like building bridges and clearing landmines and making anti-aircraft gun installments. And, you know, my dad's shot at the Germans, you know, he doesn't know whether he killed anybody.
Amazing.
He took fire. He's been shelled. My dad was shelled during World War II and was in a slit trench underneath the truck. And he said the thing about the British Army is that in combat, British soldiers laugh all the time. They just
makes sense.
Constantly laughing. Like, it's
really,
just
even when they're frightened and running with the rifle, they're laughing.
They laugh out of fear. Yeah.
Sure.
And I was like, is that just legend and lore? But then, of course, I've seen a lot of like documentaries about the British Army and stuff it's just one of those stress responses.
The greatest.
So it shaped them. It shaped my parents. It shaped my parents in a huge way.
How do you feel it did? How do you feel it did in specific?
Well, they would talk about things like fascism, and like that was a real thing. Like my dad and my mom hated any kind of fascism and anything like that, and would talk about it at the dinner table. And I realized that my friends who didn't have World War II parents were less concerned about the possibility of fascism.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
interesting.
It's, you know, they were just, the Nazis are bad guys. I mean, that's the, you know, it's one of those wars that are just unequivocal. They must be stopped. You know what I mean?
Was it interesting, Mike? We might have talked. Oh, sorry, but in Dunkirk, the movie, they didn't say Nazis. They said the enemy.
Yeah. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they never say Nazi. They say enemy planes, enemy. David, sorry to interrupt.
I was saying that question was stupid, but this one's even dumber. So you, by the way, I saw Bohemian Rhapsody, and I didn't know it was you, and I saw it again, and then I figured out, I was like, what, Mike's in that? And then my friend goes, you said you know him. I go, I do. Let me just look closer.
You said you know him. Then, come on, man. Great.
Your friend's awfully angry. I just want to say who that friend is. You said you knew him.
Yeah. I go, well,
I hate you.
I know him when he's in the movie. What do I do? And then, also I thought it's a real testament to success in SNL when I see, or just your life when you have Halloween costumes,
right?
And I see you guys. There's always been a couple, and with Mike, it's Austin Powers, and there's obviously Wayne's World with other that's always a great one. Like couples do it, or two girls.
Usually two girls. Yeah. When I run into them, both with wigs. Two girls. One's Wayne, one's Gar.
That's a huge one. Still, that just shows how long. And obviously Shrek, and there's I've seen some coffee talks. I think back
Linda
then,
Richmond,
middle-aged man. Yeah, it's just fun to have that's out there and just stays alive. That's the funnest success. Is going, oh look, people
Yeah.
like it enough. They dress
That's the biggest flattery. I love it when someone gives me a specific compliment. Have you had a compliment, just someone on the street or on a subway or something that says something to you that's obscure in a way, and they loved it?
Well, I went as a British soldier for Halloween 2 years ago. Surprise, surprise. I may have a couple of British Army uniforms, and
okay.
and this 20-something young person comes up to me and goes, A, I love your work. Thank you very much. B, thank you for having the Halloween costume that I thought you might have.
cool.
Which was like, oh, well, somehow that was a great compliment. The funniest one I've ever had was being in a cab in New York, and sometimes the bike guys grab the handle
to get a little
of the cab
ride, yeah,
push.
Yeah.
Some guy grabbed the handle, and then with the other hand just pointed at me and went, "Famous," and then took off. That was it.
Good.
Famous. All right, let's talk about that for a second because, okay, Mike wrote this really cool book about Canada because Mike loves Canada probably as much as anybody who's then ever become an American citizen. I don't know. You're
Canadian hero.
Well, I have to say this because I know how big it is, this award. Mike is the Office of the Order of Canada, and he's on a stamp.
Yeah.
Then he writes this book, and I just was looking at it today because you sent it to me. Thank you very much. And there's this quote in here that I thought was so interesting about fame. Fame is not creativity. It's the industrial disease of creativity. Pretty potent thing to say. But I mean, you've never pursued it in a classic sense. And some people do, don't judge it. But we live in an era now where fame is talent. The pursuit of talent is fame. The monetization of fame outstrips talent often, just fame for fame's sake. So anyway, what would she say? Am I cutting out?
No, I got you. I got your back now. Sorry.
As Linda Richmond would say, talk amongst yourselves. Was that her friend?
Yes.
Like when you had Madonna out there, I was like, oh my God. You got her for Wayne's World too. You had Anne, wasn't she in Coffee Talk at home base?
She was, yes, with Barbara Streisand and Roseanne Barr.
That's a big one.
That was a big one. Streisand is Streisand. I mean, there is.
I was opening Amstel lights for Lorn at that time.
And the tall poor
monitors under the bleachers.
David is so
nice. That's perfect.
I know.
In a big giant glass.
The giant glass. He'd start the pour low, and then he'd bring his hand up like 2 feet above the pour of the glass.
Under the bleachers, monitors. It was the best. They go, Lorn wants to see it. I'm like, oh no. You go in there, and he'd go, maybe this one, do it, fix it a little bit. It felt like it faded out at the end, and Liz or Aaron would look at me and go, you heard him, and I go, yeah, I got it.
I've said this before, but I guess once in a while I was out there really mugging it up, like not going to do it, all that. Lorn with, I think, affection would say, looking at the monitor under the bleachers, go, he's a fucking show pony. And I didn't take offense to it. I go, yeah, at times I am just a bald-faced ham just trying to shove it down the,
Which you remember when Lorn is always so funny, but he goes, when Sinead O'Connor ripped up that picture, and then I was out there, so I picked up a little piece of it. Mm-hmm. And Kenny and Mung goes, they need that back. But I walked over, and Lorn was drinking an Am's Light, and it went dead silent. And I went to a commercial, and he goes, Irish.
So you're already an alcoholic.
Yeah, and that was it. And I was like, oh, I didn't even really get it. I go, yeah.
Well, I remember the Sinead episode, and when I saw that, I don't know. I guess she felt that maybe we shunned her, but I was just shy and nervous. I wasn't upset about it. I know a lot of Catholics. I'm very fond of them, but there were issues with that church for a while, and so
she might have been had a little bit of a point at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't feel like I can't have a conversation with that person. I mean, and I would have given her a hug if I thought back in time that she was feeling that ostracized and wounded by making a political statement on Saturday Night Live. So anyway, this will be the thing that'll trend now.
I said, whose side should I keep? That would keep my job. But Mike, I did walk out there and I had a light show, shocker. And so she did it. She went to commercial.
What's your net worth? Come on.
And I went out and I picked up a little piece and I put it in my pocket. And I just go, by the way, I'm not even that religious. I don't really know how heavy that was or what was going on. Because I'm Arizona dumb. I just go, I just had a piece and I go, that was weird. And then on Sunday night on Hard Copy or something, there was obviously a huge fucking story. And then they go, tonight we Sinead O'Connor and the picture that around the world. And they show the ripped picture and one piece is missing on my desk. I go, wait, that's the real picture. Because I have it. And then Monday, and I started bragging about it, of course. And then Monday, Kenny Amon called me in, David.
Producer.
And Kenny Amon was great. And I went in, he goes, there's a rumor you have and he goes, we'll need that back. And I go, what? I have what? Of course, stalling for about 5 seconds. And then I gave it to him so I wouldn't get fired. And then he said, what happened was they found out some crew guy or something sold it for $10,000 to that.
Oh, shit.
And thought I was in on it. I go, I'm not the mastermind.
On Monday before the host meeting, I went into Lorn's office for a second, and as I was walking out, I heard him say, he said, Marcy, get me the Pope. And so I guess he called him. Sorry. Anyway, inside joke. Lorn can call anyone in the world, and they'll pick up.
He's circling the building.
It's a Lorn and Michaels that we're going to pick up.
I have a question for Mike. Did fucking George Harrison write your letter?
He did, yes.
Damn it.
Yes. An incredible full circle thing in life. Yeah.
Wow.
It was during Austin Powers 3.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the day that it was Tom Cruise, Danny DeVito, Gwyneth Paltrow, Steven Spielberg, all in that fake opening of Austin Powers called Austin Pussy. And I got a call. I got a call in the morning from Gavin DeBecker, who's a security specialist. And he said, dead, but letter. And I thought, oh, shit, like somebody with some weird threatening letter. But when I got up that morning, it was George Harrison had died. And I always felt very close to George. I kind of have the George Harrison face. There's like 5 faces in Liverpool, and I have the George Harrison, as did my dad. My dad and George Harrison look very much alike. And I cried like a baby. And I was like, oh, man, this is this big day. And it was raining. And I thought, oh, shit. We have to cancel this big day. This is a horrible day. Then somebody wants to kill me, I'm thinking. And then the day turned out to be fantastic and one of the most amazing days ever. And I got a knock on the door, and it's the last letter that George Harrison's ever written to anybody. And he's an Austin Powers fan. He goes, I was looking all over Europe for a Mini-U doll. And anyways, love the films.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know. And I was like, oh shit. It literally got hot in my hands. It's up on my wall. It's one of my treasured.
That is one of those.
I can't believe it.
I mean, a lot of these full circle moments that happen, that's probably one of the most, the parents from Liverpool, going into show business, you doing this, you're writing this incredible wave of these franchises, Wayne's World, Austin Powers, and then you get a letter from George Harrison. I mean, it's just
I can't.
There's no way for me to process it. I don't know how you would process it.
It's just beyond and
yeah. And so lovely.
An exciting time was when we were in London for Wayne's World 2, sitting next to Paul McCartney. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
For the premiere, and he was talking a lot, during the show, and I was nervous. And he was like, well, that's a funny bit. Did you write that? And I'm like, yeah.
And you're trying to focus. Yeah.
Just look. Yeah. Okay, look up there.
I love him.
Did it take you a long time to write that? I'm like, yeah, it took forever. Just look. And I was like, my joke was that I would wish I was next to the quiet one. instead of the cute one.
Yeah.
But it was pretty spectacular.
Well, you guys were there. I had left the show the week before Paul came to host, which I regret. I've gotten to interact with Paul in different ways at different times, but that must have been cool. Just having Paul around, doing sketches and.
Oh yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
That day, were you there when he had the mini concert, or had you left at that point, Dana?
I think I'd left. So did he do it like Eric Clapton?
Yeah, at the end of the show.
Eric Clapton did that too, right? The show ended and Eric Clapton did like a half hour of jamming. I says Paul did the same thing.
Well, yeah. So my brother Paul had come down from Toronto for this Paul McCartney show. And it was very amazing. So Linda was there. Linda McCartney was there. And Paul had met Paul McCartney at the Wayne's World 2 opening. And Linda, my dad had just passed away, and Linda said to my brother Paul, "Hey, Paul, sorry to hear about your dad," which was just amazing. How did you remember that? How did you know what I mean?
Very, very Linda.
Just so lovely.
Yeah.
And Paul was very moved by that. And then we went and he played Let It Be.
Yeah.
And,
which is kind of thematic.
And people there's not a dry eye in the house. And I was on the Toonses car. Do you remember Toonses, the cat?
Oh, yeah. Jack Handy.
So
Toonses
me and
the cat.
Paul were arm in arm on the Toonses car. And next to us was Bill Murray and his brother.
Wow.
Good Lord.
And it was just you can't believe it. Like, he's right there. You know what I mean? It's sort of like Eiffel Tower, Empire State Building, Paul McCartney right there. You just can't fucking believe it.
No one gets used to seeing Paul McCartney. Every day was like, no one can fucking deal with it. By the way, Mike, when that happened, Franken said, he goes, I remember, we were talking about that like a week later. He goes, I remember he was telling someone that Paul McCartney played Let It Be, and I started crying, and then I walked over and stole some jeans from the Gap Girls set.
Did he say that seriously?
He's like the penguin. He's like the penguin all of a sudden.
Yeah, it was all serious. Then he goes, and I went and stole some jeans from the Gap Girls set because there was so many. It was like a real set with a security guard because there was so many.
That's kind of brilliant in a way of
Is
like
that
looking
true?
at sets to kind of harvest stuff and shoplift sets.
And it's so funny that on the heels of that Let It Be where everyone was crying.
Yes. Oh my God. Well, the next morning we went to the John Lennon Circle, me and Paul.
In Central Park with all the people.
Just as Bill Murray and his brother also came to the Imagine Circle at Strawberry Fields. And it was kind of, I don't know, this was kind of a huge moment.
It's just everyone a Beatles fan. I mean, is Bill and his brother like at the level of you and your brother Paul? Because I guess is there levels to it, or it's just like a fanaticism that we can't let go of because it just keeps giving all the time. You go back and revisit the music and you go, seriously? No.
But if you've had a little bit of fame, you can't imagine their level of fame.
No.
Their fame is famous. Do you know what I mean? They're famously famous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is it's just the type of show business that you wanted to be in. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's what I always wanted to be on Saturday Night Live. I didn't know Saturday Night Live would be there for me. I always wanted to be on Letterman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I always wanted to be on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
I never got to be on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, but I always wanted to be. And it's just sort of just in general, the Beatles, like in specific the Beatles, but in general, American show business. I don't think if you didn't grow up in this country, how magical American show business is. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just the best show business in the world.
Bigger in other countries too, because it's America. I think that they go.
Yeah, and that's magical. What the Beatles always said. We got to get a number one in America before we go there. Yeah, that was their enchanted land. You know.
But, just growing up in Canada, my dad worshiped the United States because of show business. You know what I mean? He wasn't like, them Americans. He was like, they do it right and they're fantastic. And even my mom, when Wayne's World came out and it was a big hit, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. My mom said, I said, did you see Wayne's World? She said, oh, yes, it's very good. I said, yeah. She goes, oh, that Dana Carvey's very good, isn't he?
She would use me to inspire you or something. What is she talking about?
What do you mean? She goes, it's just the Americans. They just have it, don't they?
He does.
The Americans. They're slick. They just have it, don't they? And slick wasn't a bad thing. Slick was like,
yeah, slick.
I never
American
really
show business,
identified as I'm an American comedian, you know.
But you were to me.
I was, but I just am.
That's funny, Dana. Yeah. That's so funny because you are to me.
Yeah, I totally understand. I grew up there. I am an American comedian. With an American land, whatever that song was.
So you two guys together from the outside, like someone like me and the other dudes and Sam and I, we were always like looking at you guys, like, holy shit, these guys are fucking crushing everything they go into. Every read through, we got to see it. We're like, it's just like a class. You watch how these sketches are put together, and you watch that everyone's really trying. You know what I mean? Yeah. You go, oh, no one's walking through it here like, hey, we're famous. It's like every week everyone's grinding and stressed and going, fuck, we got another week. Who cares about last week? It's over. What are we doing this week? And who's the new host? And oh, it's Glenn Close. What are we doing? You know?
But you know, we came from stand-up, David and I. So then I get on Saturday Night Live, and now I'm doing sketch comedy. And so that became such a joy as it went on, you know, being out there with Phil and Carson, or Mike with Wayne's World, or Kevin with Hans and Franz, of like bouncing off someone, wanting them to be great. You wanting to be, you know, they're pinging you, you're going to ping them back. It's a very exhilarating feeling to be part of an ensemble that's scoring.
And then it's the Turners, and it's
Bonnie and Terry Turner.
It's Conan, and it's Jack Handy, and it's Christine Zander,
Robert
it's all these
Smigel,
people, Smigel, just
Jim
like
Downey.
writing these fantastic sketches, and you're just like, you know, I couldn't believe the level of the comedy writing. I mean, I watched it for half a season, you know, and studied it. Like I made my own running orders when I was at home, you know, but when you're there, and it's so intimidating, you know what I mean?
Well, you're trying to write against the writers, which are unreal. You don't know when you get there because they're not like famous, but you go, holy fuck, these guys know what they're doing. And then you go, oh, and I have to write against cast members that are great.
Right.
And they're writing stuff. So you go, where do I fit in here?
But it was fun to score with someone else's piece. Remember we did Jagger and Keith Richards? And I think they wrote that, Downey or someone wrote it. I didn't write on it. And then they were so pleased that it worked. And, you know, it's fun. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
No, not at all. I just remember Downey, too, was great because he didn't, he would just go, I think there's a joke that's kind of like a joke, and then a joke would emerge. And you're like, I didn't know you could dial up jokes. Like, to me, jokes were like, they came to you like lightning, and they're put in your hand, and they were hot. You know what I mean? You had to put them down.
That's a good observation about him.
Up jokes.
Yeah, he would say, there's something very funny about, and then he would say it, right?
Finally,
And then the joke would emerge. And that I have had to do that now. Like, I've had to do that in my having left Saturday Night Live. We're just having to, sometimes you just need to dial up a joke. And I didn't know it was actually possible until I saw Jim Downey. I thought it was something that they did on the Dick Van Dyke Show, but that wasn't real.
Right,
you know what I mean?
With the staff and the whole
where they're trying to jam jokes. I didn't think actually anybody did jam jokes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, interesting.
In that way of like, it's kind of like we need a short joke, and it should be something that's a comment. And I'm like, you can't dial up jokes that way.
That's the math of it that's challenging and fascinating. Does it fit here? Will it lead us anywhere else? And you know. But
they were good at like the breakdown of the sketch instead of just like, we were just kind of comedy guys. You know what I'm saying? Probably me and Danny, but you too, maybe, where you go, this is funny, and then they're like breaking on the sketch, and that's how they find it. They go, it needs this, and everything points to a certain joke that it's going to be, and then they go, they're cracking a code that you figure out. It takes a long time.
It takes a long time, and I was very inspired and intimidated at the same time. One of the best joke clinicians was Conan O'Brien.
Sure,
definitely.
And I once wrote a sketch. And he said, is this your sketch? I said, yeah. He said, do you mind if I rewrite it? And I was like, no, not at all. Because he was so nice to me, Conan, all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he just sort of went, and he handed it to me. And it was 1,000 times better.
That's a great
I
feeling.
couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I said, now it all one joke flows to the next joke. You know what I mean?
Well,
And I was like, I couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? Just handed it back to me.
yeah, I
just
mean,
went,
Conan is brilliant. Yeah, and I do think that you got to the whatever level, 5-star level of as a writer when you look at Wayne's World and Austin Powers. I mean, that just flowing and really just this is funny and this is funny and here's a storyline. All of a sudden, something's kind of sweet and human, and then back into it. I mean, just densely, beautifully written, like irresistibly.
Thanks.
Like kind of an irresistible stew, you know. I mean, I don't think movies like Austin Powers make that much money, you know, anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like
No.
it made like blockbuster box office, you know, and yet it's so weird and quirky, and you know. So anyway,
I think that again, I learned so much from everybody at Saturday Night Live, and you had to learn or you were out. You know what I mean? That was one thing too. And I think that one of the things I'm very grateful for having worked in England is that and I've said this to you, Dana, a few times, but the subject matters that you can do comedy about in England are very, very wide. You know what I mean?
Yes, which
There's
I
a lot
like
of different subjects.
that. Yeah.
And, you know, I had such a weird comedy circuit when I lived in London that just went. And also, I think, too, that Jack Handy was a giant influence, too.
Yeah.
Giant.
His was eloquent, right?
It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like Happy Fun Ball is just.
Happy Fun Ball. Wow. I mean,
do you remember the round of applause after Happy Fun Ball, which was just like
that when it's getting dropped on our troops in Iraq?
Yes, it has come from space. Do not taunt Happy Fun Ball.
Yeah, do not taunt Happy Fun Ball. It's fun. The corniest commercial, and then all these.
Yeah, no, he's
so
brilliant.
great.
We talk about him a lot on this show. Yeah.
Do you, Jack Handy? Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, the sketch I was in with Christopher Walken where we're coming down in the spaceship, we're aliens, I guess, and then our landing gear would hurt a farmer, and we come out, we come in
Let's
peace.
get out of here.
Let's get out of here. And over again and stuff like that. And there was one I talked about last week, maybe you'll remember it, where people were like at a kind of a alien court, and the aliens are way high up, and all the aliens want to talk about is box office receipts for movies. Like, didn't it? Because it was just about that obsession with what a movie makes and all that.
Oh, that's so hilarious.
And then me and Neelan about to launch a rocket with binoculars, but then Lassie is underneath the rocket. Oh, okay, let's stop. And then Hitler goes. Then the Mona Lisa's under there. It just keeps, you know. So Jack Handy, look him up. Anybody wants to write comedy. So
should we let Michael go?
I think Dana? Mike has a career and a family. Last I checked, so
I have a family, that's for sure.
He definitely has a wonderful family. Mike Myers, what can we say? A Canadian delight.
Thank you.
A Hall of Fame of everything. What else? And still out there doing everything, doing the shows. And
where do you live now? And then I'll let you go.
I live in New York City.
Okay, what big streets? No, you live on Bay and Bloor, do you, in Canada? I know.
I don't know, but I did live very close to Bay and Bloor.
We stayed there.
What they call Blow-Yo. That's the.
Is that what they call it now?
Yeah.
When I was there, we called it Bay and Bloor.
Oh, I see.
When I was there years and years ago, we did 3 movies up there. A lot of fun. Love Canada. Well, thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
And great talking to you,
we
buddy.
will,
all right, guys.
We'll be texting soon.
All right. Yes, please. All right, guys.
Enjoyed it.
All right, bye, guys.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, what's up, flies? What's up, fleas? What's up, people that listen? We want to hear from you and your dumb questions.
Questions, ask us anything. Anything you want.
You can email us at flyonthewall@cadence13.com. Andrew Laposha. Hello, guys. Thanks for what you're doing. I like when they say that first. You're welcome. It's so awesome. My question, who did you most want to host SNL that never got to? I'd say Tina Fey. That's my answer for everything. No, who are you thinking? Because I'm
just thinking of who I'd want to hang out with.
Yeah.
So and they were musical guests, but I would like to have been on the show when Neil Young was the host.
Oh yeah, because you love
I would
Neil
have had
Young.
Neil Young on Church Chat. Well, our voice is sort of like a lady's voice, isn't it? Old man. You know what's really ironic is Church Lady. This is what Judd Apatow would help me with, make an album where Church Lady sings Neil Young. Because I can't sing, but as Church Lady singing, it sounds exactly like Neil Young. Okay, I'll show you. First, Neil Young. Old man, look at my life. I'm a lot like you were. Church Lady. Oh man, look at my life. I'm a lot like you were. Well, isn't that special? No, it's true. I can sing as Neil Young, but I have to sing as Church Lady singing as Neil Young.
And that's my answer too. All right. Thank you, Andrew. Okay, we got Larry David, one of our favorites that we've been trying to get for a little while, but of course we know he doesn't like to do anything. And but he made it. He came to the house. Actually insisted on it.
He drove in, and we were very flattered. Is one of the guests we wanted to always get, possibly the most influential comedian or best comedian of the last many years. But yeah, he had a great sense of humor. I do go off on a few bits. I apologize for that.
Yeah, I think the crowd will be just as happy as he was. He was laughing so hard. He's a great crowd. We touch on a lot of topics. And
Seinfeld, Curb, all the usual things.
The usual suspects and some other stuff. We sort of jumped around, talked about the 50th, talked about the 40th, and now...
and talked about the 30th.
And we talked about, I did Curb, and I walked you through the process. And overall, I think we ended on a real high note. He was laughing pretty hard, so that was a real victory.
Enjoy the
episode. Fun. Yeah, you'll see what happens.
Always say no. Always say no.
It's the best advice you could give anyone.
Never agree.
I was just talking to somebody the other day. They go, why did I say yes to this? Why did I say yes? Everybody goes through that every day.
Yeah.
People cannot say no. It's so impossible.
Well, if you're turning down a lot, it's a rhythm thing. No. But
at least you're known as someone that says no.
How many podcasts do you turn down in a year? 300.
I don't want to.
Over 1,000?
Over 1,000.
I don't want to sound immodest.
2,000?
There is, listen, Nancy Reagan had it right. Just say no. And no one listened.
Yeah, completely.
She was right on a lot.
She was talking about drugs.
Well, can I do my Reagan?
He got his Reagan in.
By the way,
early.
I'll sit here for an hour and just listen to you.
Well, I like this rhythm. I'll see if you like this rhythm. It's Reagan dealing with modern enemies, right? Who are they? What? Tell who? Benny what? What they do? To who? Where? When? How? Why? Well, then we have no choice. Fire away with everything we got, and then call them and see if they're still there. There. That was it. I made Larry David laugh.
I've got one for you that if you can do, I would just ask you to do it every time I saw you.
Okay.
A younger Biden, not the old Biden, a younger Biden. With that Baltimore.
I don't have one of those.
That Baltimore accent.
I know. Well, that's very specific.
You know that accent I'm talking
Yeah.
about? They did it in that series. What was it called with Kate Winslet?
Oh,
yeah.
this
He's something. Mayor.
Yeah. And they had that.
No, I know, it's very
they all
subtle.
had that accent. He's got some of that.
right. This never doesn't get a laugh in stand up, and I'll do it over and over again to the audience.
Yeah.
No, I'm being serious. And I say to the audience, I will keep doing it until you don't laugh. No, I'm kidding around here.
Yeah.
I'm being serious. So
See, you're so lucky that you can do that stuff because
I don't have jokes.
Well, I mean, if something you do isn't working, then you make them laugh again. You always have a laugh at your disposal.
For sure.
Most stand-ups don't have that laugh at their disposal all
It's
the
terrifying to go up, and if you don't have a go-to something.
Right.
Dana's got great stuff. And also, you can put a 10% joke in an impression, and it's worth 100%.
And just ride the rhythm. I put
It's
on
so
my
funny.
notes. Stay here. Don't be in a hurry. Stay here. If it says Ross Perot, you're going to do him for
He does
or Anthony
every
Fauci.
president since Calvin Coolidge, he does, and the crowd's like, yeah, they freak out.
But a young Biden, that's a challenge.
Yeah. You do FDR?
we are. No, now I'm doing JFK.
Yeah.
We don't do it because my bit on JFK now is that he needs an AI. Bobby needs an AI that his voice will then go to JFK's voice.
Oh, Bobby's?
Yeah, because we all sound like Bobby. If
help.
we smoked pot in high school, it'd be like, I can't believe what the pharmaceutical companies are doing. You know, introducing JFK AI. We understand that the pharmaceutical companies are doing. I'm just going to do this all afternoon.
Oh, come on! I'm thoroughly entertained. I
But
would
it's a
pay to
good
sit
audience.
here
I have to
and
finish
I would
the
pay
line.
to listen to this. Go ahead.
See if you can say, we don't do it because it's easy. We do it because it's hard. We're the right age group.
Yeah.
Crickets up here. Yes. So
So you're settled in.
you said yes. You're here. Do you need
Yeah.
anything?
I'll open some water here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got you some of the high fancy water from your rider.
Has any human
How
performer?
about those people who they want like grape jelly or
Yeah,
something?
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Have you ever seen your writer? I don't know if you do a lot of stand up. Have you ever seen your writer?
What
No.
are you demanding?
Me neither.
I feel like yours is a little below J-Lo, but above Chris Kattan.
Let's see.
I've had people in tears coming at me. I'm coming backstage for the gig. We only have 3 towels.
Yeah.
I don't.
We couldn't find Triscuits.
I don't see my writer. I don't. Anyway.
I don't like to eat anything at all before I'm going on somewhere.
Not even a little bit of
No,
a bite of
nothing.
chocolate.
No, nothing.
Do you still do stand-up? Do you go out and do like an hour?
No, last year I did. I was interviewed
Mhm.
On stage.
on stage.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Cha-ching.
One of like these bullshit things?
yeah, something like this. Yeah,
Yeah. Those are the best though, because it's not really,
yeah. It's not stand up.
It's not that hard.
right?
yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard before the pandemic. Julie Louis-Dreyfus. Remember her? You know her.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
was doing interviews.
Check out the call sheet. You'll remember.
She was doing interviews for corporate events. I thought, oh man, that's so nice. 20 minutes with the CEO.
Yeah.
She
What's
rakes
the
it in.
question that makes you the happiest, and what's the question that is annoying for you? I think I have an idea.
I think now the most annoying question is, are you going to do another season?
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, now that we're here,
Did you just say yes at the end, meaning you are? You're not, are you? I didn't know that your special was named Curb Your Enthusiasm. Is that true? Your stand-up
Yeah.
special?
I
And then you
saw
borrowed
it.
that. Yeah. You took that in. And was it 2000? Has it been around that long?
Yeah.
Mhm.
God dang.
2000.
And you've had people on Curb that went on to be bigger stars. You actually got them early.
Yeah. Who?
I'm asking you. Me?
Well, that's exciting. But
No, I do have a Curb story for you.
Yeah.
You might have heard it because you were part of it, but Dana, I did this young man's show. It was one of the great fun things of life is to be on a show that's a fucking hit show everyone loves. Right up, everyone's sensibility. Everyone in the future goes, oh, I want to do a show like Curb. That's the most common thing I hear. It's 10 times more complicated than they can probably think. It seems very easy, looks easy. I think the fun part when I did it was the idea was I don't know if you remember this, you did so many, but you wanted tickets to a Laker game. And you used to work at NBC, so you asked the president of NBC, and they have 2 sets. This is, I think, true anyway. So they say, yes, give Larry 2 tickets. So you go with Jeff, and you're in the rafters. And then you get the binoculars to see, oh, they have 2 sets of tickets. And then you go, who's on the floor where we wanted to be? And he's sitting with me.
Right.
And so you're like, that motherfucker, why is Spade down there? And why are we up here? I was on Seinfeld. So anyway, we run into you guys leaving. And the part that I thought was interesting, I didn't even tell Dana this, but it's like the way I remember it was someone comes up to me and I think we have the forum or wherever it is. And I think, and that's how big of a production is. You have that, you have extras. We did some at a real game. I think we used those Endeavor seats or whatever, William Morris. And then, so we were at the real game. And then afterwards, we get a bunch of extras to stay. And so we were leaving. So me and the president of NBC are leaving, and Larry's coming out with Jeff. And they come up to me and they go, you're going to run into him. So be apologetic. Something like that. It was just an idea. No lines. And then I go, and what's Larry doing? They go, you'll find out. So then you guys decide what you want to do. Obviously, you decide. And so we come in and we have like a 5-minute talk where I'm like, sorry, because you're like, why would he be there? I'm like, I don't want to be a part of this, whatever. Then they go cut, and then they come back and I go, this one, defend yourself. And it's so funny because you have 5 seconds. So I'm like, well, whatever happens, and I don't know what you're gonna do. And then you're like, why would he be there? I'm like, well, we both were on big shows, and you're like, well, I was on Seinfeld. I go, well, listen, we're both top 10 shows. We're both, it's kind of a push. And you're like, a push? Well, just shoot me was the same as, so anyway, it just makes for a fun, real, fake argument, whatever. And then they did like 1 or 2 more of different things. It was a blast.
David?
It's
very interesting, honestly, for people to know that, because the hard part for Larry is to go in there and decide which is the funniest version, what line. That's just so complicated.
The greatest part I love is when I can tell that you or the great Richard Lewis or Jeff Garland, you're not sure you're doing a take because you're just talking, and you might use it, you might not. Right. I mean, it's the absolute opposite of a traditional, Larry Sanders was the first that I had an experience like that.
First of all, I never would have done a show if I had to memorize lines.
Smart.
It's too hard.
It's I don't like it, and I'm not really an actor. And you have to be you have to be an actor to memorize lines. I suppose I could do it, but it wouldn't be fun. Here, I'm kind of making it up as we're going along, and I don't know. It's just I just laughed my way through 12 seasons.
I know it's infectious to watch. The last 20 years, I don't think I've ever gone to any kind of meeting about any kind of show where, it's going to be like Curb, or we're thinking like a Curb type show. Has anyone even landed close to the sensibility? And what is the secret? You don't have to tell us here. Yeah. You can cut this part out. If there is like one secret.
Tell us who's done it poorly first.
Who's doing it? I don't even know who's doing it.
The only thing I can think of is Larry Sanders in the 90s had a sense of 3 cameras going at all times, 16 millimeters, and Gary would say, you do this, kind of, or say something like this,
Oh, did they improvise a lot?
At least when I was there.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was quite like yours, where like you're so improvised. Whatever you have, it's working. Don't even.
Yeah.
Hey, are you going to do another season?
No. Is there anybody you asked to do Curb that didn't do it? Like some star that you wanted?
I think there were some people who weren't down with the idea of improvising.
Yeah. Some would like to do the lines. They'd be more comfortable.
More comfortable.
It's hard to make lines your own. That's hard when you're doing shows and movies. That's why they sometimes feel stiff, because if you can just play off what's happening at that second and the attitude, that's way more fun. It is hard to do, though.
I mean, the worst thing that actors did on the show is if they would try to be funny.
Yeah. Or they come and going, I'm funny.
Trying to come up with like funny lines.
No.
Yeah.
The hardest part I've seen, even on like for Adam on Sandler and those movies, is a lot of people that come on that have never worked with them. First of all, proclaim their funniness, which is always a red flag. And then they come up and say, I had some ideas for the scene. And it's for you to be the creator, and you can't blame anyone else. And you have to say no. So when they come to you and go, Larry, I thought I'd play it more. I got a guy that talks like this. And you got to go, oh, fuck. Can you just don't do that? It's a hard position to be in.
No, it's very easy.
Okay. I was trying to help you a little bit.
It's not hard at all. No, that's not good. Don't do that. Okay.
I've got 2.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
And they would slink away and go, fuck.
Sometimes at auditions, actors would try and cry. I go, oh God, no, stop, no.
Oh man, the 2 metrics now. Never have a line that's written that someone has to say, and don't anybody ever be caught trying to be funny, unless the character is trying to be funny.
Yeah,
exactly. That's different. But none of that winking. It's a real Rubicon, and you can really feel it in sitcoms when it's just pushed.
Well, I like
you
the
did
stuff.
good. I'm just saying I'm a fan.
The stuff that's played like in a wide shot is always good. Sometimes you get on a movie and they go, Dana and I talk about this, you get too locked into 2 shot, 1 shot, pushing, and you're losing all the momentum and all the fun of it, and it looks too stiff, back, forth, back. Sometimes it's nice, those old Woody Allens or whatever, even Tarantino in a wide shot, just 2 people talking, looks real. You've got to figure out where to look instead of going, look here, look there, we got it. We've seen it.
The Woody Allen thing is a little scary, because I did.
Oh, you did a couple.
What was the name of that movie?
It's
A
called
couple, Dana.
Yeah, whatever.
Woody Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I did one.
Once upon.
He doesn't remember.
And because he does these you got to get it all in one.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole take, I'm going, I got 4 more lines to go. I'm not comfortable at all because you can't make a mistake. There's no cutting.
Yeah.
After my first take, the first day of filming, after the first take, he comes up to me and he goes, "Not terrible." And now I use that every time somebody asks me, how you doing? I go, "Not terrible."
Yeah.
That's
a good medium place to be.
Robert Mitchum told me that the guy who played Tarzan, because Robert Mitchum was a guest host, and he was the host of SNL. I go, "Hey, how you doing today?" He goes, "Worse." I go, "Worse? Why do you say worse?" Because I think it was Lex Barr, some guy who played Tarzan. He came out of his trailer and said, "I feel great," and then did a header, So ever since then, he just says worse.
I love that.
Oh, you did Tough Guys? Is that the one?
I did so much shit. I was so bad. I have a Hall of Fame.
So bad.
I can't say lines 175 times between all the takes and all the close-ups. And by 4 p.m, you first said the lines at 7 a.m. and by 5 o'clock, it's not even English.
Going in tight on Dana.
You guys got some heads of hair on you, the two of you,
Best hair money combined.
When did you know? Did you ever think like, "Oh, I'm going to have all of my hair for the rest of my life"? Did that thought occur to you at some point?
Yes. I had a pretty good head of hair. First of all, it went way up in these corners that are covered right now when I was in my 20s. So I went to a barber. He goes, "You're going to be gone by 30.
What? Really?
Yeah, barber guy. He saw it going back. But it went back and then it stopped.
Wow.
Very rare.
And then I do take a little finasteride.
What's that?
I'm sorry?
It's stuff that keeps your hair.
Formaldehyde? What does that do?
Keeps your hair in your head.
Really?
Yeah. Matthew McConaughey does it. All right.
Dude, I grew up, I put motor oil. Everything I could find, I threw in my hair, just trying every trick in the book. It's so horrible.
But let me just explain that because we'll get letters, old-fashioned parlance.
Go ahead.
Dosage matters with any med you take. I had this woman, she was trying to do super vegan and she was emaciated. She was 87. I go, "You could have some salmon." "Oh, no, I can't." "Well, I tried a statin and I had terrible side effects. Would you ever think of taking a lower dose?" Ask your doctor. So she lowered the dose, took her cholesterol down, no side effects. So the same thing with finasteride. People were popping it like candy. Then they had sexual side effects, depression. You just need a little bit to keep the hair in your head, and it will grow hair.
I don't get it. You had to give her that advice? What? The doctor couldn't tell her that?
She couldn't read the back of the bottle.
Doctors are not really, most of them are just high school seniors that have a lab coat on. They don't know anything, most of them. They're terrible. Right? Do you?
What, doctors?
Yeah.
I still have great faith in them.
Yeah. Yeah, Dana.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I look at you the whole
They're doctors, Dana. Doctors.
I know. I used to bow down. We were talking about to a contractor or a landscape architect. We'll put a big tree right in the middle of the grass. Why? Well, you need it. No, you don't.
Well, you can never have a doctor as a friend because you'll lose all because you see, they're so human. How could you?
Right.
You're kind of stupid actually in life.
Well, you can read the same stuff they're reading. You can read NIH, you can read Harvard, whatever. You can read everything the doctors
read. Why, are you reading that?
I do. I do.
You do?
A lot. If I have an issue of something, I'll look it up.
I asked Dana for
Don't you ever
advice.
research stuff?
I don't want to read anything medical. It'll just scare me. I never look at anything medical.
Do you get this when you go to the doctor? They talk about everything jokey except for what's wrong with you. Like they come in, "How's it going? What's been going on? Have you been on the road?" And I'm like, "I've been sitting here for 49 minutes waiting, and I know I've got a 6-minute window with you. Like, let's get to the stuff." And then they go, "Yeah," in the last second, "Oh, right, bend over and stick a finger in your ass." Okay, sorry, I almost forgot that part.
Did you ever do a prostate exam joke?
No.
Yes.
I didn't think you would.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
Oh, yeah. The cheesiest one that always gets, I don't do, I've never done one. I've never written one, but the one that made me laugh the most was, "Look, Ma, no hands."
Yeah.
That's a stock joke. It wasn't mine.
Yeah.
No, the joke that you try to bury into real life is when I was playing the Mirage, I go,
David Copperfield was in the steam room. I milked it out so long, and they go, he was in the steam room? And I go, yeah. And he's sitting next to me, but his towel slid off. He was just sitting there weird. And he goes, hey, I go, can you do magic now that you have nothing here? And he goes, yeah. And I go, it's not real. And he goes, all right, quickly. He goes, get up. He gets behind me. And he goes, all right, do you feel my thumb in your ass? And I go, yeah. And he goes, ta-da. Reaches around me. So it was sort of magic.
That's funny. Did you ever do a Hitler joke? You do a lot of Hitler jokes. I'm not talking about the editorial, but just because everyone has a Hitler joke. What's your best Hitler joke?
I did. I used to do one in stand-up. It had to do with about Hitler going to a magic show.
That's already
it's already fun. Anything Hitler does is fun.
And he goes backstage after, and he's very insistent on finding out where the rabbit is. And magicians have a code. They can't tell how the tricks are done.
Right.
And Hitler's going, "Where's the rabbit? I'm very curious. Where's the rabbit?" And he goes, "Well, mein Führer, we're not really allowed to. It's a code amongst me." Yes. But where is the rabbit? It was something like that. Yeah, I forgot the rest of it.
Where was it?
Did you do that in the 99 special?
I did.
Yes, I remembered it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a Hitler joke?
Write
one.
I don't think I have one because, I did have a book when I did my first book. Oh, a couple people remember? Thank you. I used a picture of me when I was 5 years old. My mom had me in a little blue suit with white hair down to here. And it was a weird shot down on me in front of my old apartments. And I'm just standing so stiffly that I said, what if we called the book Mr. Hitler Will See You Now? Because I was like a 5-year-old kid, looked like a little Aryan. And it got universally no. So, and I'm kind of glad because I sort of skim over stuff. I'm from Arizona. We were never into religion. We were never into many things that could be very offensive. Mm-hmm. And so we joked about everything, racism, all this. So sometimes I would stumble in my act and say things too far, and someone would pull me aside and say, I wouldn't say that anymore. And I wouldn't know how deep these things went or hit. And I'd be like, okay. So it took me a while. Even on that one, it was a little late in the game. But to even say I should do that. But Hitler gets thrown around and it offends too many people. I'm not Jewish.
I did a Hitler bit. I was doing a benefit for Cedars-Sinai cardiology department, and I did a Hitler bit. A guy had actually put a stent in my chest. Goes, do you know where you are? And do you want to hear it?
Yeah, go.
It's not a bit, it's an observation, because I thought, I don't have any original observation about Hitler. And then I thought of one, and I want you to tell me you've never heard it before. Hopefully. Or you've heard it before. All we do is see Hitler throughout history screaming, I son of a... We never see him talking normal. We do this for a living. He must be exhausted backstage, just wiped out, almost effeminate. Yeah. Oh, Himmler. I can't feel my deltoid. Whoever said to do this, shoot him.
He gets off stage and goes to the green room, and he's like, they were good. They were pretty good. He's
but
back
just
to his normal voice.
exhausted Hitler Langeres, gutting my little Luftwaffe man.
Yeah, that's great.
Don't fat shame yourself. I have a cookie, I eat it, I put the plate down. You have a good cookie, your brain throws a party, you have 100 cookies. So he breaks down, addiction to carbohydrates.
That's funny.
Okay.
Hitler's green room, what's on his rider?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I look at my notes. There's literally no notes to ask you anything. It's two. Go ahead, Dana.
Whatever you got.
Well, I know this will make you happy. Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
New York Knicks.
Yes. Right in the throes
Stephen
of
A.
it.
Smith and LeBron. Who would win if they went? Because we think we know, but Stephen A. Smith isn't tiny. I mean, I would get snapped in half by LeBron.
Hey, Stephen A. Smith would get snapped in half.
Yeah.
LeBron is a beast, man.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
What is he doing?
I don't know. He's 40 years old. It's just incredible what he's doing.
Yeah.
If I had that money, I think, and he's already like such a perfect specimen athlete, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would obviously pour it back into trying to stay alive till I'm 100. I look at Brad Pitt and I go, I don't know what's going on, but if no one's going to get to regular Brad Pitt. He looks even better now. I'm like, fuck that. That's like cheating. Because he could have been fine skating along. And if he did, I don't say he did because mostly just jealousy and anger. But if he did something, I'm flying to that guy and just saying, do whatever you got to do. Because someone told me on my comments, it looks like I slept on my face. And those sting, Larry. You're supposed to let him go. And
well, you look kind of the same.
Yeah, you look the same
for like
shockingly.
45 years. Because when did your hair, but when did it go white? How old?
It probably started in my, probably in my late 30s.
Wow. Okay, that was a joke.
Whoa.
So, no, but Steve Martin, the same thing.
Yeah.
He looks kind of the
Steve
same.
Martin was like 12.
I'm working on this baby face with bangs. I'm going to be 70 in a month.
Keep the hair messy.
Really? You're going to be 70 in a month?
Yes. Thank you, Larry.
Wow.
For being
He
surprised.
didn't even,
I'm
he
very
didn't even
surprised.
comment you
Isn't
at
that
all.
a great compliment when people are surprised
Yeah.
when you tell them your age?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. But when you tell them eventually you say I'm going to be 70 a month, they go, oh. And you're like, really? Just an O? Yeah. He looks.
The worst is
Can
when-
I get a really? Andy Samberg said, you're going to be 70? I go, thank you, Andy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a great compliment.
Okay, I have something you may not have heard before. Tell me
Sure.
if you have. Carol Leifer was on our show,
Okay.
and she talked about you and Jerry, the dynamic. And she said, you're John Lennon, and Jerry is Paul McCartney. Have you heard that before? You probably have heard it.
I've heard it. It's quite ridiculous, but I've heard it. Yeah.
But then it makes you unpack it a little bit in your brain. Like, well, wait a minute. How am I Strawberry Fields and he's
Yeah.
Yeah,
Penny
what would
Lane?
you rather be out of those
Both
two?
geniuses.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah. I think I have a feeling our dynamic was maybe not fraught with the friction that theirs was. So we
Okay.
Well,
didn't really
I
have
asked
that,
Paul
yeah.
McCartney about it, and he said, "Well, the difference was, they were doing comedy, and we were doing strumming and singing. So it's a different thing, and the analogy doesn't quite fit, Larry David looks the same for the last 40 years. I go, I totally agree, Paul.
Were you on CBS Radford a lot?
Yeah.
That's right. I think we were there at the same time, honestly. I think Just Shoot Me, Will and Grace. I
We were
think you
there
guys.
up until 98.
What was the call sheet? What was the order of the cast?
Have no idea.
Larry,
Never looked at it.
tell me.
You mean the Seinfeld call sheet?
Jerry,
Honest to God,
one.
I never looked at it once.
What do you think it was, Dana?
I assume it'd have to be Jerry.
And then we'll keep going.
I mean, it's a good question.
what's those four in a row?
I never looked at it.
Julie Louis Dreyfus, number two.
Two?
Number
She was
two.
probably a bigger name, right? When it
Well,
started?
Julie wasn't in the pilot. Jason was in the pilot.
Oh, he might have inched
So
ahead
maybe
and
he
leaned at
inched
the
ahead
tape and got
because
to
of
number
that,
two.
Yeah.
I was not an early adopter. I was being wined and dined by NBC to do the Letterman slot, Warren Littlefield, and having lunch with
You
him.
mean
and,
a talk show host?
yeah, they
You
wanted.
were gonna be a host on, on
oh, yeah.
television.
Yeah, I know. It seems amazing.
He'd be great.
It wouldn't work at all. This is my first.
No, he'd be great.
Well, maybe if you had David as the co-host, it might have worked.
We would
Or
need
he would
both
have been
of
my
us.
Andy Richter. No, but basically they said, we have this new show. I think only 4 had been made or something. It's called Seinfeld, and we think it's going to be really big. And they told me about it and who was in it, and I just thought to myself, oh boy, that's not going to happen.
Bomb.
That doesn't sound like a winner.
Yeah, I
agree with that?
Whatever I'm involved in, I never thought would work.
Mhm.
So no, I thought it would be gone very quickly. I was just doing it for the pilot. I would
Sure.
do a pilot, get
Mhm.
paid for the pilot,
Right.
and then that would be it.
Yeah, the chance of pilots going are so slim,
Yeah.
especially. And you're coming off SNL then? Was that SNL to that? So it's
SNL was
later.
84, 85.
How'd that go?
Oh, swimmingly.
Well, you made up for it.
it just shows that you just don't know. You need the right situation or whatever, because for you not to do great on that show and then you go off and do, well, some people do that. They have trouble there and they go off and do great.
It didn't really bother me that much.
Mm.
I got one sketch on for the
Not
For the
great.
season.
for the season.
Yeah.
I got one sketch on. It's like, and it reminded me a bit of a stand-up in a way when I'd be waiting to go on, and then I don't know, somebody famous would come in, and
Yeah.
I'd get bumped and bumped again, And I was actually glad I got bumped because I didn't want to go on anyway. I was happy not to go on. And so, I don't know, writers make such a big deal about if their sketch was going to be on. I didn't really care that much.
Yeah.
It didn't really bother me.
Well, when I was there writing, all I cared about was getting picked up again for the next year because there's just no money. So I just don't want to look like an asshole. And they'd call Gervitz and Brad Gray and go, Lorn would go, I don't know, we may bring him back. So I'd have to get rid of my apartment. And every year I did that. And then there wasn't DoorDash, ladies. It was drag your mattress down the stairs, and then you gotta re-put your my apartment was literally a bed, a desk, anything I could just literally carry. And then 2 months later, we'll bring him back. And then I'm like, so I gotta go move back, find an apartment. It's so dumb, but they like to keep you on the edge of your seat there.
So you didn't have Lorn. Lorn was not.
Oh, you didn't have Lorn.
No, I didn't have Lorn.
Oh, I was just doing an impression. It was a 10 out of 10. Unfortunately, you didn't know.
No, he's hosted twice.
I knew you were doing Lorn. Yeah.
It was a very subtle,
No, Dick Ebersol.
It was too real.
It's kind of a sporting event. Someone said about SNL. It's rock and roll. It's loud. I mean, there are subtle. Jack Handy used to do his deep thoughts, and there are subtle sketches.
It's funny,
but I think I heard that you and Jerry just said for sure at this point, we're just going to do the show for ourselves. We're not going to try to project what the network or even the audience will like. That's what I felt that Seinfeld. That's what we did. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But
you were. I remember we went out to dinner very early on, and I said I just can't. How are they letting us do this? I was shocked.
Were the audiences biting on it though? It was in front of an audience, right?
Yeah,
they were biting. So you thought, well, something's working here.
Seemed like it.
Because when we were doing ours, I like to keep comparing like they're the exact same. When we were doing ours or any sitcom, they would do it and then it would get a medium laugh. And then we liked it all week. The people that we thought were funny to each other. And then they go, listen, the youth prisoners that they bust in for the show aren't biting on this one. So let's dumb it down a little bit. And then I go, well, let's not wind up with the one that these guys like. Because we believed in these jokes, and then they're scrambling and trying stuff. I'm like, then I don't even know what winds up on the show, but you go, you can't do that. Like, it's better to have something where you just pick it and say, this is our style, this is our vibe, like it or not.
It was new, and we've gone through Cheers, Mary Tyler Moore, MASH, all these brilliant sitcoms, half-hour shows, and all of a sudden, there's a show with a puffy jacket or a soup Nazi. It just was instantly a different sensibility when I saw it, and I saw at least 13 of them. I don't know how many I've seen, but
we didn't even know how to write a sitcom. We'd never done it before.
You didn't have bad habits.
That's good. You didn't know how to do a bad one.
And there was no writer's room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we didn't have a writer's room.
Who wrote? Well, we knew some SNL people that wrote on there, but was it? I heard the idea was people would walk into a cold, like freezer room, and then it was you sitting there in a chair in the dark, and they would pitch.
And then I was always very nice.
If you didn't like it, you would hear shame, and they'd walk out. But they said it was. They make it more than it is. They probably because they go, we'd have to wait, and then we go in and pitch, and then Larry would just shake us.
And you have a big laugh, and so they loved it if they could make.
If you could laugh,
they could make Larry laugh in the pitch.
I was always very nice to everyone who came in.
I could imagine.
You're a good crowd right now. You're very open. When I see you out in the world, I don't see that much, but you always seem very loose and friendly. And there's no people. I think people think of this curmudgeon thing that's like a little because it's from the show.
The character.
That's me. This is the act.
Do more people talk to you? What do they talk to you about in order? They know you. Is it Seinfeld or is it Curb or is it something else?
Now?
Yeah.
Well, now it's Curb.
It's just Curb all the time. It's Curb, Seinfeld. Curb, Seinfeld.
Was Jerry ever
Good question.
Being sort of a stoic? He doesn't like people being neurotic and creating problems. Because I've gotten to know him a little bit. I did comedians and cars and stuff. And so then I realized when he is abrupt about that, he's really slightly annoyed that someone would create a problem out of nothing. So he would I'd say, I don't know about my act. How do you write new jokes? Just write them. It was like, And at first I was like, is this guy aggressive? No, just do it. He doesn't like neurotic comedians going, I don't want to play that club. Don't play it. I mean, is he like that with you? I mean, once I understood where he was coming from, we had him in here and I totally got it. He does not like problems that don't need to exist. And he just, no.
Yeah, I like this stance when I said he doesn't do that many specials. And I said, all the comics now, they do a special for an hour and then they have to throw away the material. And he goes, why do they have to throw it away? I go, I don't want to throw it. I go, I have stuff that takes so long to sharpen it and get it to fucking work. And when I go on the road, they want to see a show that works. I don't want to start from scratch. And he goes, listen. He talks to me like I'm a child. He goes, listen, don't throw it away. He goes, do the jokes that work. He goes, people think they have too many jokes that work. He said, when you boil it down, every great comic probably has an hour 15 in their whole career. That's just killers. And I think Leno's like that too. They just boil down to like, get what works and do it. And if some of them are great jokes, it's like songs. I like that. I like when someone does something I like, especially a comic. I go, this is my favorite one. I'm glad they're doing it. I don't want to see, because specials get watered down over time. And I'm like, another one? What the fuck? What do you got left in the tank?
There's two jokes of Jerry that still stick with me. One was the moose gets lifted out of Alaska and it's up in the sky. And it wakes up. And what does the moose think? I guess I can fly now. I just thought that was a great one. And then the eulogy one. You know the eulogy one.
What's that one?
The number one fear of all human beings is public speaking. So at any funeral, the person giving the eulogy would rather be in the casket. It's a great joke.
That's good.
Yeah. So you had a great partner. And he had a great partner.
Yeah, we had a great time.
Yeah. But you'll be remembered for Curb. My point is this. No, I don't. Curb's 20
do an
seasons.
impression.
Do an impression. You did Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your memory of that? I just did Biden.
Yeah.
Where I was like, I don't know.
There was a debate in 2000. The election was 2016.
And Bernie was running. Hillary was running.
Yeah. So there was a debate.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the debate was 2015.
Yeah.
And so when Bernie Sanders started to talk,
mm-hmm.
everything he was saying, I would repeat. I don't know if you ever do that.
Sometimes.
All of a sudden, because he sounded so familiar to me because we're both from Brooklyn.
Right.
That I was able, in a way, to just tap into, the way he talked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he would say something and I would repeat it. And then my agent
mm-hmm.
called me when the debate was over just to talk about it. Ari Emanuel, he said, "Did you see that?" I said, "Of course I saw it. What do you think? What do you think?" And he goes, "Oh, okay, I'm calling Lorne Michaels."
Perfect.
Oh.
Yeah.
5 minutes later, Lorne is on the phone with Ari, and that was on a Tuesday, and on Saturday I'm doing the show.
Oh, fun.
So you have the 84 experience. Then all of a sudden, 2015, you come on, you do Bernie, and it is a smash. I mean, it's like, oh my God, of course, Larry David.
Oh,
and you killed. Must have been fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everything you said, you got to laugh.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Did you go to the 50th? You went to the 40th. You did a lot in the 40th, I thought.
I went to the 40th and I was in the audience and I did some bit in the audience.
Yeah.
And the 50th, I went, but I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But I got sick at both of them.
Okay, good.
The 40th.
Even the COVID in 2015? What would you get?
In 2015, I got sick at the 40th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was doing a play at the time.
Mm.
And I had to do the play with like 102 temperature,
Ouch.
Because you got to go on.
It's gross to be like, I got to go on. You feel bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got sick again at the 50th. Got the flu, I think.
Something must be there. When I hosted last time, I got sick during dress. The worst fucking anxiety-riddled time. In the middle of a sketch, they go, come on. And I stood up. I was in like a UPS outfit. And I go, and then I sat back down on the set and they go, come on. The band's like, ba-da-ba. You got 90 seconds. And I go, I don't feel good. And then I laid down on the floor and everyone's like, what the fuck is going on? So they walked me to the dressing room, put me in the bathroom. I lay on the floor and the audience is still there.
Wow.
So it was the last sketch. They just wrapped and they let everyone out. And then they're pounding on the door going, and I hear him going, if he doesn't come out, we're going to have to put a rerun on. We got to tell NBC. And I'm laying on the floor sweating. I don't know if I was food poisoning. Mm-hmm. Then I started barfing. And then I just sat there in my UPS uniform going, there couldn't be more stress. Already you're sick. And everyone, including Lorn, is behind the door going, are we doing this? It's fine if we're not. We just have to. And so I finally get the door and I go, I mean, I can try. And then they go, all right, let's pull the rerun. Let's just try it. And
wow,
I started to feel a little better. And I got some food in me. And I was like, I don't know what happened. I got the whammy. And then I did a good solid 70% I gave. And the guy in the UPS sketch, the writer, I could see him in the back going, yeah, you're a real fucking hero. Because obviously that sketch got cut because I don't think I even finished it. You know what I mean?
The thing about it, when I was doing it and I was sick,
mm-hmm.
and I remember thinking during the middle of it, I don't feel sick. I don't, something.
Yeah, your adrenaline maybe or something. Yeah.
That's remarkable. I felt like Fraser in the 15th round last time I hosted. Like, really? Now? Can I do this? And then the same thing. Just pass
once
off
you get
dog.
out there.
You hear the applause, the laughs. I mean, your hosting was good experiences, or was it not really?
Yeah, it was okay. It was okay.
Did Lorn give you a thumbs up, or what did Lorn say to you?
Well, they invited me to do it again, so I guess it wasn't a total bomb. But I had, the hardest part was having to prepare a monologue.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't been on in a long time.
And they expect the world from you.
So I had to write a monologue and then do it in different clubs.
Oh, you had to go out.
Yeah, that was.
It's a lot of work. Just do Q&A with the cast.
Yeah,
that's the cheat. That's the trick.
Singing would have been funny.
Yeah.
I like in a club, they go, we have a guest here, Larry David, and you walk up. So dogs are funny, and everyone's like, what's he doing?
And then a half hour before the show at 11 o'clock, I was called up to Lorn's office, and the censor was there.
Oh.
And the censor said that I couldn't do this. I couldn't do this bit.
Oh, at 11?
Yeah, at 11 o'clock.
Fuck off.
And there are 2 bits they didn't want me to do.
Oh, come on.
Oh, please.
And then I went,
well, the other one, whatever.
I'm gonna do it.
You're not gonna do it?
Oh, you said you're gonna.
I said no. I'm gonna.
Oh, you said you're gonna do it.
I said yeah. No, I can't. I said I can't. I have to do it.
Well, you have nothing.
And I go, yeah. I go, what? Why is it offensive? I don't get it. Who's gonna be offended by this? Lorn, after 5 minutes of this, said, I can't do them, but. He said, he said to the censor, I don't think you're going to win this one. Yeah.
Oh, he said to the censor?
He said that to the censor,
good.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to win this one.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Let's get Larry to make up.
You can only take so much from a Larry David.
We've wasted Larry's time enough. Let him go down.
Check his celebrity net worth, and you'll see that he truly is.
When I hosted a great story about me, we can cut this out. We already did. No, when I hosted, it was Sandler was in my trick monologue. I'm only telling you this because it's kind of similar, where he's the audience member, but he's playing a goofy guy that he used to do. So he was there that weekend. He goes, "I'll come and we'll do that. That'll be your monologue." So I can worry about the 13 sketches that are about to bomb. And so that morning, Saturday, they say, Adam goes, I got a Waterboy open that weekend big, and he had to fly back to LA. And he goes, I can't do it, pal. I was like, oh, shit. So I couldn't cover it because it was his character. And I'm like, well, what's my monologue? And then we're like, okay, rehearsal. And I'm like, guys, I got to get a monologue at one of the breaks. And they go, and everyone does just do stand-up. But I hadn't done it for a while, and I definitely hadn't done a club or anything. So there's no practice, which you need a little. Even when we were at the 50th, I just did a set with Chris Rock and Nate Bargatze just for fun because we were out having dinner. And they go, oh, Mulaney and Steve Martin and Martin Short were just here doing stand-up. They all came in, everyone did a set, just like everyone bumped. Super fun night. But I don't get to do that. So I just go, oh, I have this one in my act about a polar bear and about this other one. And then they go, just do that. So the only time I rehearsed it was at dress or right before dress, to try it. But I couldn't really remember it all. And then I had to sit in my dressing room and go, how does that one go? So scary. It went all right, but I know the monologue. It's all.
How come you didn't get them on cards?
I got it. Oh, because I had to tell cards what to put. And I just said, just forget it. Just put monkey, joke, polar bear.
Oh, okay.
And go to a commercial when I start fucking crying.
I don't like stand-up either. I mean, honestly, if any time a show was canceled, I was happy.
You're happy, right?
But if I go up and I'm killing, I go, well, this is kind of fun. But I never want to go. And I don't
I'm exactly the same way.
I never want to be in a de facto comedy competition. Go to the Comedy Store. There's 10 comics. I'm going to try new stuff. They're doing their A stuff. Lean into it. And I just don't like the people. You were one of the best tonight. I mean, what do I need that for? I'm just like you.
Do you do corporates? Do they call you to come in? Oh,
they're fun.
Somebody's got enough money.
No, I don't get asked.
Oh yeah, it would be
really.
Fun.
I'm going to talk to my people. Have you ever been in a headlock by another adult male as an adult? Because the CEO was drunk and had me at a corporate event. The church lady fucking guy.
It's funny you should ask me that because at the 50th, I was introduced to Paul McCartney, and I said to him,
has anyone ever?
No, I said to him, has anyone ever punched you in the mouth?
Instead of hello, we love all your albums.
I said, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been hit in the face with a fist? Has anybody ever punched you?
That's fucking great.
And he must have loved it.
Oh, wait, we were at dinner.
What did he say?
Yeah, the dinner.
Yeah. You were sitting right next to Paul.
Yeah.
You were hilarious. He was a good laugher, too.
Yeah.
He was into it. I think he likes having these.
He's a charmer. I mean, but what did he say after you said it? He just started laughing?
No, he did. There was an incident. There was an incident in his youth when he was like 13 or 14, and somebody headbutted him, he told me.
He's so charming. There's something on YouTube, you can look it up, but McCartney's going into a nightclub with people. This is like with 5 years in LA. The doorman doesn't recognize him. And they no, you can't go. And then you hear Paul say, we've got to write more songs. we better go back to the drawing board. We're not big enough.
We're not famous enough.
So anyway.
That was a night.
I'm going to ask him.
I was sitting next to Chris Rock and I came late and I felt embarrassed, but I was 100% not invited. I was meeting for dinner and he goes, just come here. And then I realized I was crashing at dinner. He was invited to or something, whatever. So anyway, I went in. Paul was very nice, whoever threw that thing, just like 10 people. But the funny part was I was sitting just where I could see kind of between, you guys are on the same side as me. So I'm trying to crank my head between Chris and you and see Paul. And here you guys. And Larry's killing. And then every time Paul gets to a story where he says something like I told you, where he's everybody stops. Yesterday, the way I came up with it was one night when I was dreaming, the guy goes, what potato skins? And then he leaves and I go, and then he's putting the shit down. He goes, top off your water, top off. And I'm like, I'm trying to. And then he goes, I go, it's a 1/4 inch. We're topped off. And he's like, I got a little more in there. Then he comes out and I go, and he goes, and that's how I came with yesterday. And I go, uh-huh. Then he goes, the last thing John ever said to me, hey, coconut shrimp, hot plate. And I'm like, God damn, dude, I'm missing this thing I couldn't pay enough to hear Paul McCartney
The
talk
dichotomy between how humble and Liverpudlian he is and the genius of the music. We sat down here for a plonk, John and I, like looking in the mirror. And that's how we came up with Abbey Road, We just plonked. It's like, what the fuck?
What about Lennon? What would he say?
What would he say?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. John Lennon, John would be more nasal, Paul was always one of those. Ringo's more like peace and love. They were me brothers. They're me brothers, They're me brothers, peace and love. Can you say anything else? No, me brothers, me love. And then Paul's like this, and George is sort of languorous, sort of laid back. They were the primary songwriters for me. They were my brothers, Oh, we love it. So anyway, I'm obsessed with him.
Too much.
I'm just trying to make you laugh because you drove 300 miles.
That was easy.
Do that Kim Kardashian one. What is that one?
Kim Kardashian one? Oh, that's I do John Lennon talking to Paul, John from Heaven, because I want to hear them talk, And, what happened to the big orange man, Well, he's president again, but he was beat by another man, named Joe Biden, And he goes, wasn't he, what about, didn't Kanye West, what happened to him? We went flew away. We don't know what happened to him. Was he with a woman named Kim Kardashian? How's she doing? I'm doing the short
I like that
version.
John knows a couple little things.
Well, they talk regularly.
Couple pop references.
Well, she's a nice gal. Well, how does she make a living? Well, she takes pictures of her bottom. What's so special about her bottom? It's not a normal bottom. It's a bottom 2.0. It's like God made a fanny and attached a person as an afterthought. The whole family has big bottoms. All of them are doing it. And if they fall on their backs, they're sort of like turtles. They can't get up again. They have to have turtle wranglers lift them up. The whole family's doing it. One gentleman got so frustrated, he became a woman. So that's a truncated version of it.
Hilarious.
You have a great sense of humor. Can you come back tomorrow?
Yeah. Well,
I love impressions.
so
me
fun.
too. If I see
Love
someone,
them. Yeah. Bill Hader was on my show, and he was,
he's so
oh my God.
just, did he do one of my bits? I think Bert and Kirk, or Jimmy Stewart.
No, he gave you credit. He did Bert and Kirk.
Yeah.
He gave you full credit.
I know.
Yeah.
It was flattering how much he loves it, because I think he's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
But he loves that Bert and Kirk thing. So. I want you. I want you now. Now take it easy, son. We're just two men having fun. Don't keep bucking around like that. I only got so much play down there. You keep bucking around like that.
So great.
I want you. What are you going to do, cowboy? Come on, I'll take you. So I do this for 20 minutes. I once had John Lovitz throw up in a parking garage, because I'll do it for 20 minutes. But
because he was laughing so hard?
Because it goes on and on and on and on,
Shit.
So I keep
funny.
doing bits?
No, we're doing good. I think maybe we wasted enough of his time.
I mean,
We'll see.
This is my current favorite. Do you want me to do it?
Do one more.
'Cause it's not. This is Jimmy Stewart, which I think Conan did. But trying to come up with a new Jimmy Stewart thing is that someone's going to perform oral sex on him, and he does it as Jimmy Stewart. Okay, so it's not X-rated.
Okay. I know this one too.
Yeah. All right. No. You don't touch it. What? No. Just slow down. Now I want you to slowly turn your head and look away. Yeah, that's it. Just look away. Now I want you to forget about it. Pretend you never saw it. Now slowly, but ever slowly, turn your head back around and discover it again. That's it. That's the look I want. Just discover it. Just consider it. Now slowly, so that's my latest toy.
That's just hilarious.
I've never done this many bits on a
good.
show.
That's so funny.
Discover it and consider it.
Well, I have one where he leaves the house. Now I'm going to go around the corner and get a soda pop, and I want you to forget all about it. You never saw it. Then I'm going to come back, and I want you to slowly turn and discover it again, like it's brand new. Yeah. No, don't touch it. Just think about it. Now back the head up again. I'm going to back up and go out in the hallway. So I'll just go for 20 minutes.
Oh my God.
But you're the greatest audience with.
Well,
I love impressions.
that's a good closer.
I do too.
It should be your closer. That's a fucking great one.
I'm gonna edit these things together and release it as a special.
So funny. Holy cow.
Anything you need from us, Larry? You're all right.
Oh no, I'm good.
Thank you
Thanks.
very much for coming here.
You're just an amazing guest, and I don't know what to say other than
I did the best I could.
You did great. We all
You're
didn't want
a-
to do this, and we all did it. And I think
No!
I'm proud of us all.
Did you want to go? Yes. That's all I do with Jerry.
How many podcasts are there?
Over 3
Like
million.
over 3 million now.
No, honestly.
No, I think there's 3 million. Yeah.
Does that seem too low?
Sounds like a joke. There's 3 million podcasts in North America.
I don't know how does everyone do it? I
We
mean,
Googled it, and that was over 3 million. That was about a year ago, so it's gotta be
Most
more.
don't get past 30 episodes, so they come in and out, but I don't know how. Greg, here's our producer. How do they?
It seems easy. It's kind of
It's-
hard to do.
Digital space is unlimited. That we can all
Wow.
just,
It feels like the easiest thing in the world. So if you're an actor or if you're doing anything in showbiz and things are slow, you feel like you want to do something, like, well,
right.
And then it's like when people used to watch the Kardashians, they wanted a reality show. They go, hey, I argue. I hate my family too. I yell at them in the kitchen. I could do this show. So that's what they think. And then they go to a podcast. And it's a little trickier and tougher and a lot fizzle, but some stick around. It's a little bit to it.
It's a new tech. So it's sort of like, you do the talk show and you do the pre-interview and you have 2 minutes and they're cutting. So this is just like us hanging out. So this new art form of like shooting the rehearsal, doing half-baked stuff. We don't have a script. I had a few questions.
Right. It's good to have a Dana.
So it is fun. It can be fun, just because of the freedom of it.
Yeah, and it's great that you're doing it together.
Yeah.
I think, we get along really well.
Yeah, it's easier. And then if someone else, whoever we got here, one of us knows something about something. But we let them talk sometimes. We let you talk a little bit.
Yeah, I said a couple of things. Yeah. Feel free to cut me out of the whole thing.
We don't need too much of me.
Yeah. Well, I'd say I watched you on Conan and I noticed this morning and I said, oh God, Larry loves to laugh, like you're like maybe the funniest guy, whatever. Let's just say he's arguably the funniest person of this generation, arguably.
Last 300
You're
years.
in the conversation as the funniest person. So to make that guy laugh is just a pleasure.
You heard the Conan podcast?
Yeah. And you guys are having such a good time. And I noticed, because I haven't hung out with you a lot, I just said, Larry loves to laugh.
Yeah.
And so that's why I just thought I'd do a few things.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Anyway, by the way, when I did Curb, and this is the last thing I'll say, you had to cut some stuff out and you called me. Because it's very tough to call someone telling me you had to cut something. So he told me, and the funniest part was, I said, okay, well, I had a great time and thanks for putting me on there. And then you felt guilty and you go, now I feel bad. And I go, well, I understand it. And they go, are you being sarcastic? I go, no, I know that these shows go long and we ad lib forever. And if you got to take some stuff out and you go, all right, I'll try to put it back in. And I go, no, it's fine. And it turned into another episode because it was just funny to hear you feel bad that you had to call me. But it's hard to tell someone that. And a lot of people say, they never even told me. I'm like, it's hard to tell people. It is what it is. If it gets cut, it gets cut. But that was nice.
The people who would design Seinfeld and Curb would have all that kind of emotions because it's coming from all this humanism.
You're on both sides.
So
of it.
that makes sense that you would suddenly feel bad because if you're a sensitive instrument.
On Seinfeld, this guy I knew paid a lot of money to be an extra for charity, and I inadvertently cut him out of the show. And he had a party. He was going to have people over.
My God.
People over his house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Brad fucked him. All right.
Okay.
Thanks, bud.